Alrighty. Not gonna get no cube rule. I know, but we don't want a cube rule tonight.
No.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no.
I'm going to ask a question. What happens if you generalize this to n-dimensional space?
Open-faced sandwich is a toast. A burrito
yes,
is
a burrito.
No,
a burrito is a calzone, unless you have
calzone.
one end open, in which case it's a soup salad with bread bowl.
A soup mortar.
So, okay, Neon, what makes it a sandwich?
Because technically, any open-faced sandwich is toast.
Is a toast.
But like, yeah. So like, what difference?
According to
So,
cube
like,
rule.
For example, avocado toast.
Okay, so
You
like an open
slap
sandwich-
another thing on it, and that's a sandwich. You take it off, it's a toast.
There you go. Popular examples of toast.
Every day we stray further from God's light.
Yes. So yes, it's still
So
toast,
still
even
toast
if it's not toasted.
Yes.
A slice of bread is toast, according to cube rule.
Semantics wants to have a word with you.
Well, cube rule.
Yeah,
I would say
I
probably
don't-
just it needs a name other than toast, and you'd be fine with it if it was just like
Same
flat,
with sushi.
Yeah,
flat
the
bread.
word-
Okay,
flat bread.
okay. So let's just say open,
just raw toast.
open-faced sandwich then.
Sure.
Toast is an open-faced sandwich, in which case pizza is an open-faced sandwich, and toast is just a hot open-faced sandwich.
I feel there's room for further abstraction here.
But
and I think
also-
we can come with a single unified theory of food.
Because I just clicked on the screen and saw that hat.
Let's just-
Effing dough.
Got that
Yeah.
man.
Wait, I gotta see this.
Effing dough.
Um,
It's my
Noise.
Japanese hat. You know what I mean? Like that. The one thing we got in Tokyo, where it was like,
He was
I
searching really
for
hard
one of
for
those
this,
like
by the way.
bad English like
Mhm.
things, and this is the only one I could find because actually you don't find it too often in Japan. Actually, you don't get the weird like
that makes sense.
like
Yeah.
I'm fucking. Well, there's like I'm fucking bitch or like just like random.
I always seem to associate it more with like Chinese
it's,
knockoff.
it's usually China. It's a lot of it is in China.
Yeah, especially in like those bigger cities like Tokyo, where like everybody speaks English.
Yeah, they
Right.
recognize when it's terrible, and you're like, ooh. Well, especially because English brands as well are actually like a pretty big thing.
Oh yeah, recognizable.
But you get some of those bad
Nike's not gonna
English
slap that
stuff
on a
there
shirt.
still. All right, we're gonna do a summary because we want to get this thing started. We're a little bit late, so F the sandwich stuff. We're gonna
For now, break will happen.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you guys during
For the
break, you
moment.
guys can have at it. All right, episode 3, Goat Cart 64. The party starts their long rest in the Veerbig
Sorry.
Caves. End of the second watch, Crix hears the wind die down outside and goes to investigate. He sees an aurora stretching across the sky and as if it is being pulled behind something. The wind picks back up as he goes inside. Thad works on piecing together the mysterious scraps of metal from Gog and finds a dark crystalline shard in the midst of the pile. The shard is cold to the touch and does not warm. He finds it very strange. Last watch is the party is confronting. Last watch has the party confronting Yogobor, the cave bear, who is fed some burnt dwarf and then drags the corpse of Friend the ogre off to consume. The wagon is mended. The livestock are harnessed to it. A bag of holding is created by Val, where she stores the 2 casks of mead. On the way back to Goodmead, Val creates her homunculus servant, which Hirokin is not keen on. The cart with the livestock arrive back in Goodmead, and the town is amazed to hear that not only they retrieved the mead, but also killed the Veerbig threats along with the ogre. A celebration is called for in the mead hall, but Kolral declines to go in. Cora declines to go in due to the bees, and finds a place to lodge across the way. The party continues, and the topic of the new town speaker is brought up again. Olavessa asks the party if any of them would run for speaker, but they think it's not a good idea. Shandar, the dwarf logger, seems to be making a loud show of supporting / storytelling amongst his other logger friends. Outside, Cora sees a group of 8 seedy individuals start to mill outside the mead hall. She tries to spy on them, but is caught. She then lies her way into getting close to the group, who seems to be waiting for a signal of some sorts to storm the mead hall. One of them shows Cora his flying snake tattoo on his forearm. He also mentions that someone hired them to storm the mead hall. Inside, Shandar starts to look a bit nervous as he looks to the doors in the window. He gets up with his mead and opens a window and throws it outside. At that signal, the thugs barge in, dragging Cora with them. As they put on a huge show of being threatening, Shandar stands up on a table and boldly starts to yell to drive them off. Thad immediately sucker punches Shandar and knocks him out cold. The party jumps into combat as confusion and chaos begins to take hold of the thugs. Some escape into the cold, while the party subdues the rest of them. That is where we start tonight. It's immediately back where we left off. You guys subduing them thugs. So, we have the camera open up to basically like the smoke is clearing in this mead hall, and there's one thug knocked unconscious. There's the Shandar, the commoner, or the dwarf. He's unconscious, face down on the table. His other lumberjack friends have backed off after being a little bit threatening to Thad. The other thug here has been disarmed and has his hands up in the air. So,
I'm just gonna walk up and grab him by the collar. Who sent you?
They look at each other. He looks at his other unconscious thug. Looks over at the table where Shandar is unconscious. He was he kind of clams up. Give me an intimidation check.
I'm gonna use inspiration on that.
Start off
right off the bat because
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
So big.
Oh baby.
He looks up at you and he says, you can see he's worried. He looks up at you and he says, Mr. Lizard, we were just on the outskirts and saw that they was having a party, so we thought that we would, bust it up, maybe steal some of the mead that they're known for and make off with it. It's, real valuable and whatnot.
I'll just ask the other one when he's awake. And I'm gonna produce flame in my hand and just start to slowly creep it towards his face.
No. I'm unarmed. I'm surrendered. Well, just don't hurt me, please.
Slowly moving closer.
I've never heard of an unarmed man dying before. It's really weird.
Crix. Pretty sure it was this one right here. I point down at the unconscious, what's his name again?
Shandar.
Shandar.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get him to admit it.
By this time,
okay.
now he's not saying anything. Yes. By this time, the alarm has been sounded, and you can actually hear more footsteps coming from elsewhere in the town. One of the villagers comes like barreling in. We've got the guards coming. Town guards are here. I'll take care of them.
Yup, that's typically what the guards do. I don't trust them.
Do you think that they are in cahoots?
All I know is this one was trying to rig an election, and he looked me in the eye and he could not lie to me. We should try to wake him up and get him to confess.
Cora, you walked in with these, tap the guy with, like, the butt of my spear folks. What was that about?
A very big misunderstanding.
I gathered that, but...
Were they coming to protest the steal of the election?
I think they thought it was being stolen, but they were themselves the ones trying to steal it back.
No, I saw it somewhere. I think they were stealing the vote.
They actually made off with the voting booth itself.
It's like a bag of rocks in the town square.
They
Some
stole all the
purple
votes.
Yeah.
It was everybody's name with their written on it. Well, as you guys already know, there actually hasn't been an election yet. There has just been people jostling to see who would be the most appropriate to be elected. So as the villagers all kind of mingle and mill about, dusting themselves off, picking up their mead mugs and all that stuff, you see a veteran, more armored guard, followed by 5 what look to be just kind of the regular guards folk of the town. Mostly, like, they look like similar to the villagers, just a little bit better armed and armored. Comes in, looks around, and he sees that there's been 2 of them apprehended, and then he sees Shandar unconscious on the table. Just looks at the group of outsiders, and you guys, and he just says, "All right, tell me what happened."
I punched him in the back of his head.
He looks to you.
I
He
can
looks to you and
verify
he-
that.
Yeah, so the guy looks to you and he just says, "Which one?"
The one here. The one who was trying to rig the election with violence.
There's a moment of kind of questioning on the veteran's face. "You attacked one of our villagers? I know you're in good standing. You're the ones who killed the Verbig and the ogre and brought back our mead. But attacking one of our villagers, that's not
Also
right."
brought you shit out.
If I may, it did seem that he had hired these ruffians to attack the tavern, or the what's this building?
The mead
Mead
hall.
hall.
The mead hall. The mead hall, in hopes to make himself look good.
What
in
evidence
front of
do you
the
have of
townspeople.
this?
The very very obvious acting that he was doing along with these individuals. This one will admit it. I'd take the guy that I had grabbed by the collar and push him towards the veteran.
"Oh, my lord, we were just looking to get some mead."
I kick him in the back of the knee.
"Oh, hey, violence!"
Like,
The veteran holds a hand up to you, Crix, and he just says, "All right, I understand that you might have apprehended these folks, but this is still my jurisdiction. Please, I'll deal with these folks, and I'll do some questioning."
Oh, there was
I would like
one
to
other,
insight
Yeah,
check him
he-
to see if he
he's
seems
been
like he's
too.
trying to come. Yeah. It's okay.
You're a turtle character.
Yeah.
Anybody else curious?
Oh, yeah,
insight-wise?
he looks good to me.
With those 2
Yeah.
rolls, both Crix and Demavan, he has, he has no ill intentions. He's just doing his job.
Okay.
There was one other thing I did notice that was a little bit odd. He threw his mug out the window.
The veteran
just
turns
like-
to you and looks and says, "What?"
He yeeted his drink out that window over there. I point at it.
Is that a felony here?
He turns around, signals to one of the guardsmen, who walks outside for a brief moment and comes back in, and looks to the captain of the guard here and says, "He's right. The mug's outside the window. Why would he do such a thing? It's good mead."
A terrible waste.
Their heart's in the right place.
The veteran looks to you, Thad.
Mhm.
"And you said you saw him do this.
Yep.
And then what happened?"
Well, I was having a nice conversation with these, well, they were here, and him, and I asked him about how he was feeling in regards to the outcome of this speaker's selection. And he was very weird, so he walked away. He threw his mug out the window, and then all these guys came barging in through the front door. That's when I punched him in the back of the head, because he was clearly in on it. Also, he lied to me.
All right. Are you a detective? You're very insightful. It seems that you
Oh.
have the gist of the situation, and I believe you entirely.
You flatter me, sir. I am a bit of a investigator myself. Yep.
Well, don't worry about it. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. You ruffian! Looks to the guy who's been kneeled in front of him. Now, if you don't want me to just throw you into the lake head first, you're gonna talk right now. The guy's shivering like, what do you mean? I told you what we were meant to be telling you. Then you can see a little...
Or meant to be done.
Little pool of liquid forming around his knee. Fine. He was in on it. He was. And he points across the table at the now drooling, unconscious Shandar. We're just here to make some noise, you know, like make a big show of it. We're really not that threatening. Most of us are just actors. The veteran looks at him and squints his eyes. I feel like we're just going to have to question Shandar then. Somebody get a bucket of water from the lake. You see one of the other guards runs off. Anybody have any rope?
I have some rope for you.
I'm sure Demofan has a grappling hook.
I do, in fact, have a grappling.
We don't need a grappling hook, just the rope attached to it. And if you're unwilling to untie it off the grappling hook, I'll take the rope from the nice lion man over there. Please.
It's a good grappling hook.
I'll reach in and grab rope out of my bag.
Thank you.
Just for the sake of clarity, not that I think there's any problem, but what are all your badge numbers?
Oh, they're right here.
Yeah,
we're
why
not
are they all
covering
covered?
them up. Don't worry.
Thank
I'm the only one with a
Okay,
badge
thank you.
number. They don't wear badges. They're, kind of.
It's just the badge number one.
Yeah, one. The other sheriff is two.
It's just like a gold star. It says #1 boy.
I am #1 good boy sheriff.
Town's best sheriff.
And
You've earned your attendees today, sir.
Thank you.
I think I wrote and just think to himself, fucking backwatered.
So, thank you for that rope. He basically ties the one conscious guy up who just kind of confessed to it ties up the guy who's unconscious and, drags the drooling Shandar over to a seat. Right there. Sits him up in it, his head lolls back, and he ties his hands behind the chair and spins the chair around so that it's facing him. The other guard comes back in with a sloshing bucket of water. As soon as it enters the room, you can see it steaming. And turns, grabs it. Y'all might want to step back. You don't want to get ice cold water on you now, do you?
Nope.
Even the other X also stand back in the other end of all of them are looking really confused. Kind of like they would also have something to say. One of them pipes up, the dwarf female lumberjack. Is Shanja just told us to just stand up and do what he was doing tonight. We had no idea that he hired anybody. This is outright outrageous.
Insight check. Oh, hell yeah.
She actually is telling the truth. It's just exactly that. I mean, it seems that it is true that Shandar basically was like, hey, you guys, when I stand up and start yelling, you join me, okay? I feel like he might have said something of, I feel like something's gonna go down tonight or something like that. Just you guys got my back, and they're all basically the town all knows that these are his chums. They're actually the same. Mm-hmm. He lives with this group of lumberjacks.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Yep.
He's not okay.
So with a splash of water in the face. Oh fuck! Hey, where am I? Where's the fuck is that fucking orc? I gotta smack him at He's, wiggling in the chair, realizing that he's tied up. All a shite.
Yep.
What kind of vibe do I get from him? Like, looking deep at him.
What kind of vibe
Yeah.
check this boy?
Vibe check. Yeah. Please, can you roll me a vibe check?
You roll me a vibe check. You can roll me an insight check.
Yeah.
You definitely get his attitude change from anger, confusion to now like, oh shit, immediately. Like he's got that he is now realizing that shit went south after he got knocked the fuck out. You can see his head swivels over, sees the other two thugs tied up, and looks back to the veteran, to the guard captain. His face goes stone, and his mouth locks up. The veteran looks at him. Shandar, if you ain't gonna talk, we're just gonna have to throw you in the break. Got nothing to say? No defense? You're being accused of some high and mighty stuff here. Conspiracy, kinds of stuff like that. The dwarf just looks down at the
You seem to have this covered, and Colruyt attempts to leave as before she starts to panic.
give me a stealth check.
Oh, she's not being stealthy at all.
Okay, so the bees see you, and
Oh, we got a runner.
He's like formed into a swarm of a finger pointing at her.
You.
yeah, the monkey in the corner of the Family Guy shit.
Yeah.
No, you're able to you're able to leave and go outside without anybody stopping you or questioning you.
Okay.
They know that you're with. So, Shandar just clams up, not saying a thing. Jaw set. The guard looks to you folk. Nope. Any of you can help me get a confession out of him? Next thing I'm about to do is slap him upside the head, but got anything better? Maybe you can try.
I vote for the slap.
If you're trying to get a slap, well, I could maybe assist you with this. It's something of my specialty.
And I
Back when
flex
I-
like Knuckles' my steel gauntlet hands.
What are you gonna say, Hurricane?
Yeah.
Back when I was working in a more professional laboratory setting, we always found it easier to extract information or consent from those who've been mildly intoxicated or severely intoxicated. So perhaps try just plying him with a lot of mead first.
The veteran looks to
Trying to-
you, Hirokin, raises an eyebrow.
That sounds. No.
Sounds lovely, actually.
It's the old classic lube the rube.
What is this a classic of exactly?
I feel
Techniques of nature that I've learned from other places and
I
other
feel
times.
like I should be morally opposed to this. That doesn't sound very nice.
I mean, they enjoy it.
These are not nice
He
people we're
obviously
dealing with.
didn't. He threw his meat out.
Which means if my old mama used to teach me if I wouldn't eat my food, I'd have to eat the leftovers. So he threw out his meat, he has to drink the leftovers. It's the way it works. There's leftovers, right?
But then people who
Look up from
actually
the
enjoy it won't get any.
Veteran nods to you.
Well,
More bees, there'll be
Valhalla
plenty of
agrees.
plenty of meat.
Valhalla, the veteran nods to you and agrees. He said, if we had any other type of alcohol, then I would be willing to pour it down this road. But what we got here in good mead, or mead, not gonna be wasting it on a crater like this, man.
All right.
Making a weird, awkward, like face and just nodding.
Well,
We'll go with the slapping
Well,
route.
perhaps try using these, and if you want to apply them using more forceful means. For some reason, I have a vial of jellyfish stingers.
Nice. I think I know why.
Try
I think it's from
using-
your- I think it's from your background.
Yeah, it has to do with the background, but it's just very like
Yeah, hell yeah.
500 miles.
The veteran reaches out, grabs it, looks at it. What are these?
These are the dendrites of a aquatic species found down south. It feels like fire when it is applied to the skin. The only way to extinguish a fire is by being on it.
As you say that, you see Shandar's eyes go wide.
Oh yes.
The veteran notices, reaches out, and takes the vial from you. Thank you, my good lion man. So, Shandar, you don't want to have somebody pee on your face to get rid of the excruciating pain. He uncorks the vial, kind of gingerly, like, he thinks to himself and just like shakes his head and just kind of like slowly begins to like tip it out over Shandar's face. Shandar's is like,
You see Thad, it's just like, starts going to like unzip his trousers.
when you start to do that, Shandar immediately says, "All right, stop! No, I don't want that fucking orc who punched me in the back of my fucking head to now then piss on my fucking face. No."
How tall is CW3? What's your character's name? Cassius? Kalis?
Yes.
Okay. How tall is?
He's probably like 5'8", 5'8".
Oh, well, shit. How
Yeah, but
tall
he's
is the
also
guard
hunched
next to
over
me?
like to like probably like 5'2".
Like spinal collapse.
How
and stuff.
how tall is this guy?
Which one?
I just
guard
clicked
south.
him.
The
The
guard style
unconscious
pirate.
That
guy.
one.
I mean, they're sitting on their asses, so they're probably like 3 off the ground.
Fine. How tall is Hirokin?
Fucking massive.
Okay.
I am
Big
big.
Then I would be. Why the fuck? Okay.
Why are we surrounded by
I'm here.
manlets? What the frick?
I'm here, and I'm just well because I'm also really tall. Like I'm 6 something.
Me too.
But
I mean,
I'm-
IRL me, not.
I'm gonna. Yeah, no, IRL me is not, but Eladrin Val is. So I'm gonna just kind of, as all this has happening, I'm just kind of slowly shaking my head and kind of cowering a little bit and like, what is all this? Oh my gosh! And I just bury my face in Hirokin, which actually is help because he's probably soft.
Yes.
Just like, I don't want to watch this. Where's Cora?
Is this the role that she would normally perform for you?
She's my protector.
Oh?
I think she went to bed.
Yeah.
Cora,
I'm just hiding. I'm just
avoiding the
hiding
bees. Fucking later nerds.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Picture Cora on a motorcycle halfway the next town over.
That's not a motorcycle. Those are bees chasing her.
Motorized bees.
All right. Well,
Another town, another bastard child.
so Valhalla, you bury your face and you hide your face in Hirokin's mane, and Shandar, eyes wide, head swiveling from the looking up at the vial of jellyfish stingers above his head, over to Thad, who is menacingly unzipping his trousers.
It's like JoJo's. Like,
He's just unzipping over there.
Oh no! All right, so
Gosh.
he looks up and he just says, oh, "Stop! All right, stop! I'll fucking talk. Jesus Christ! I don't want to get fucking pissed on. What jellyfish in my nose? No. Okay, fine. Was me. This fucking orc got it right. These blokes are hired. Well, not by me, but well, another speaker. Speaker Nerth Maxil Dinar. speaker of Targos.
Well,
Now that shite's gone tits up, I'm fucked anyway, so fuck them as well.
I think we have a new destination, perhaps.
Nice
very
speaker to
lost.
Mm-hmm.
It seems this goes deeper than even I thought.
I like how it's like, oh my
Do you
god,
say that while
it's
still
so
zipping
deep.
your pants? Yeah, zipping them back up, yeah. Mildly disappointed.
Bad urinating on the floor. Dang it.
Yeah.
I still had to drain the main vein.
You see the two thugs, their eyes narrow at Shandar, or the one that's awake, narrows at Shandar. Just for a brief moment, Thad, you're standing right in front of him, so you catch it. And he says, "What? Shandar, you're a fucking traitor! You're a fucking..." And he just, like, says, "Oi, Zentarine don't take kindly to this. Find you. Kill you." Then he spits on the ground, like tries to spit on Shandar from like that distance. 10-foot spitting range? Nah. Misses. But he does the disrespectful thing of going spitting in his direction.
Didn't you just betray him, like 2 minutes ago?
No! You all believe in our story! Ain't that right? As far as you guys knew, he was just like, yeah, we were... He just said that Shandar hired him. He didn't divulge.
Well, yeah,
that.
but he betrayed Shandar, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Thieves are thieves.
Yeah.
Betraying
no
Shandar is
honor
like
among
betraying like the guild is like
Mhm.
big difference.
That one's professional obligation. The other
Yeah.
one's like, you can forget the job. Take the 1-star rating and move on.
Shandar looks to the group and he just says, Earth works for the Black Network. I was thinking that if I stood up for myself here, then I would get elected to be the town speaker. And then there'd be another plant here. Black Network would extend its tentacles further into the icy north. But that's gone tits up, so fuck it.
So, just gonna take a second here to ask, do we know what the Black Network is?
All of you who came from, I think the 5 that came from like Luskin would definitely know. Any city that
We
you
got
guys
caught
would,
up in it,
any
yeah.
city, any major city that you had traveled to or had been in, you would absolutely know and understand that the Black Network is the Zentarim, and they are, you know, the underground smuggling crime syndicate, all things unsavory. Working
Coming
with-
from Luskin, it was probably like Black Network, like inquire within,
Yeah.
like every bar.
Mhm.
Luskin,
we
was,
also
a little
got
bit,
caught
Luskin
up.
was a little bit different. It was more so if you guys had traveled down to like Neverwinter or to obviously like Waterdeep and stuff like that. Mainly because Luskin had a surprising amount of drow in the town that seemed to always keep an eye on things. Like there's like one of those things where like you walk around a corner and there's just like a drow in an alleyway that just like slowly backs away and just never really outright involved in things, but the Zentarian never seemed to be able to get a hold of in Waterdeep. So, Shandar looks up at the pile of jellyfish, and the veteran corks it, puts it away, hands it back to you, Hirokin, so you can keep that on your person.
Alrighty.
And he looks over at
Yes.
the other lumberjacks and looks back at Shandar, and he's just like, "Were they involved at all, or is this all your ruse?" Shandar's, "I just fucking told them to stand up with me and act all intimidating. No, they weren't in it. It's me. Don't get them in any trouble. They don't mean nothing." And veteran gives a grim nod. With that, he signals for one of the other guardsmen to come over. And they pick him up, grab him by like the tied back of his hands, and they lead him out of the unless anybody wants to do anything before they leave.
I was going
like
to just say, like, I'll lift my face from the vein, like, look at that redemption.
Is that what that was?
That's Well, he didn't throw the other people under the bus. I mean, the trolley, cart. Didn't throw the other people under the cart.
Something, I guess. Do any of us know where Cora ran off to?
Wait, she's missing.
Cora's just like across the street. She didn't go too far, but she just got out of
You
the
can
building.
see, you can,
Yeah,
as the light spills out of the mead hall, you can see her just kind of in the shadows, under the eaves of the building across the street.
Just imagine her like looking in the doorway, looking like up towards the rafters, and just like every time a bee drops down below the doorway, just jumping a little.
That may or may not be accurate.
So, as the kind of all the motion and all the excitement dies down, everybody just kind of either dust themselves off, awkwardly goes back to sit down at their tables, and the air of festivity and happiness is kind of out of the air. And you look over and you can see Olivessa is now like head in hands at the table, like staring at her mug.
Looks like you'll be running unopposed.
Fuck, I know. Oh shit. I'm not.
Don't worry, there's still a way you can lose.
What? So wait, old man, you're gonna be running for the speaker?
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh.
Oh yeah. By the way, I now just have a flaming fox perched on my shoulder. Like that's just a thing now.
The bees are keeping far away from you.
Yeah. Because this thing lasts an hour.
Oh yeah, it's the wild shape thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
would it be a kindness to you if one of us was to run?
Her eyes light up. I mean, yes, and then you would live here and, do all the things that a town speaker would do. Yeah. You'd be great at it. Look at you. They already like you. Hirokin, you're a lovely lion man. Look at those glasses. You seem so intellectual.
Oh, no. Yeah, it couldn't possibly be me. I just got here. You have to be someone who's been here a while, who knows the lay of the land, who loves it here, who really enjoys the local industry. It would have to be Cora.
I somehow knew, and yet it still took me by surprise.
Thad, after your rousing speech, Thad just like, yup.
You get that Guardians of the Galaxy's moment where Star-Lord's like, "It's me, Star-Lord," and the guy's like, and yeah, Olivessa's like, "Who?"
Yes, our other companion. She was here before we were.
She's the one who ran away from the bee.
Hirokin gives that speech, and just in the background, it's like, there's a fuck you, and then there's like, oh, are you fucking joking?
That's not a no.
Olivessa shakes her head. No.
Oh, okay. If she doesn't want to do it, I will put my name on the ballot.
No, it's okay.
How long is the term?
We have
Until you die. Fuck it.
Could you change that as the speaker?
I'm like, holy shit.
It's a permanent
You really-
position until it's vacated, and
Well, then just vacate it when you're done.
It sounds like you should make an executive order to impose term limits as your first action, Speaker.
What if you die but then brought back to life via resurrection spell?
I appreciate all of your I appreciate all of your input and really trying to help me. And you know what? You all have helped enough with the Verbigs and the mead and bringing that all back. And and punching the shit out of and threatening to pee on Shandar to get him to confess.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm just like nodding along, like, yep, these are all wonderful things we did.
Thad is positively beaming right now. As much as his weird, squirrely, like.
Are you sure he's not streaming right now?
Ah.
She finishes her mead that's in her mug, plonks it on the table, pushes her chair back, makes that scrape on the floor, and she stands up and she looks to the town folk who are still in the hall. Says,
Gosh, I'm just gonna imagine Thad as that cat from now on.
"This dead
not-
face."
Yeah.
Sorry.
She looks up and she looks to the group and she says, I may not want this position, but the heritage of this town is in my blood. Family were the first cask makers of good mead, and fuck, currently no one better to run this town, so if you all have me, I will cement my running for the next town speaker. Does anybody oppose me? There's a
Cricket?
awkward, cricket. No, not a cricket, just
The queen bee comes to fight. Throws his name in the ring.
Oh my god, it's Jerry Seinfeld B.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's actually kind of funny, like,
Human
for you
race
guys, you haven't gotten used to it, like, and it makes sense that, like, Cora, if she doesn't like bees, there's no way that you would be able to function in a building like this. Like, the villagers are absolutely, like, numb to the sound. Like, the droning is, like, for everybody else, you guys are, like, constantly being like, what? Like, you know, like, missing every other word that somebody says just because there's that constant, like, in your ear. Nobody dissents to Olivessa Utpur's nomination or her running. And you look across the room, and one of the lumberjacks, the first one to raise a glass, and gives like a loud "Yeah, here!" and then everybody else follows in unison as they all seem to unanimously elect Olivessa Utpur as the next town speaker. Good meeting.
Oh, how I love democracy.
Oh god.
So the night goes on, and there's not much else that goes on throughout the night other than more happy drinking of mead, other like juices and things like that. There are actually some interesting things that you guys overhear from the villagers who are now a little bit more at ease, knowing that, you know, they were a little bit on edge, now they're more at ease. But one of them sidles up to you, Crix, kind of like backs off, like as he kind of almost touches the hot fox, the firefox on your shoulder. And he looks at you and goes, "Hey, seems that I heard some news that you know, might be a little of interest to you, seeing as you're all, you know, blamey and whatnot."
I'm listening.
So, in the next village up, East Haven, guess what? They caught an evil wizard who killed some adventurers. Town militia plans to burn the wizard at the stake, I hear. The captain of the guard is looking for some folk to help with some other tasks, but if you like fire and you want to see quite the spectacle, well, you see a witch burning.
I'm interested. Thank you.
Cheers. Another person sidles up to Hirokin. Thank you for helping out with those ruffians from earlier. I have not seen one of... What are you?
My name is Hirokin, and I am a simic scientist by trade, but by birth I'm a Leonin.
I recognize, like, one of those words. But yeah, boy, you're fuzzy and I like you. There's also
Why,
some
thank you.
neat glasses. They look good
Thank
on your
you.
snout. Please
Yes,
don't eat
there-
me.
I am not going to eat you. You look
I
very
am not
stringy.
hungry.
Thank you. But cheers. And he has a drink with you. And throughout just briefly, kind of hiccups again. Goes, you know that's fucking weird. Motherfucker, Caer Dineval. Town to the northeast of here. Just follow the road northeast, you'll get to it. Nobody has seen their town speaker in a long time. He says that they were chronically ill or something. There's been some weirdos living in their castle. Odd.
They have a castle.
Yes. Yeah, it's the Caer Dineval is just the name of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's
Well-
Dimeval is the name of the town?
Dineval. Exactly how it sounds. Dineval. Caer Dineval.
Oh, nailed it. All right. I'm not at this
Nailed
conversation.
it.
I just want to keep notes. So
Yeah.
I have.
That is bigger. I actually could just imagine Thad just like in the background, like behind a chair, like just listening to every conversation that's happening.
Missed that. Fuck. All right. Yep.
Tinfoil hat on, listening via like radio rabbit ears.
Oh, I'm getting a signal. They're talking to me.
I feel like Thad's eventually gonna evolve into the third form of Randy Quaid at some point. I don't know why. It feels like there's some Randy Quaid energy in here. I certainly hope not. Actually, I would ask. I think at some point tonight I would have a question to ask.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll go towards the end after you're done with the.
Oh, that's the only stuff that kind of pops up during conversation.
I think trying to listen to everything, missing most of the stuff. I would then at some point go up to literally whoever's next to me. I don't know who they are. I'll just pull out one of the shards of metal from the puzzle that I consider and go, "What's this?"
They look at you, look down at it, look back up at you. That's metal.
Well, yeah, I can see that much. It was from around here. I thought maybe one of you would know what this is, other than the obvious.
It looks like it's from something metal that it got it's got jaggedy bits on it. So somebody
kinda.
did you tear it off something?
No, I found it in a basket.
Good for you.
Yep. It's pretty nice. I have a whole bunch of them. But I will take my inquiry elsewhere. Okay, bye.
Fun with your piece of metal. Bye.
Yep.
I feel like this is like Tinder for the socially awkward.
I have a metal. No, he's he's flirting like a magpie. Shiny?
Basically, this is what 4 charisma gives you. Okay.
Strikes up conversation. Look at my thing. My shiny is pretty shiny. Shiny things? Alright, do you ask anybody else about your stuff, Thad?
I think I'd probably try 2 people.
You get and you get the same response.
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of they look at you kind of like they're tolerating a small child who's just showing them their cool macaroni painting or something like that. And they're there's a couple of them that are just a few of them, as they see you approaching, having spoken to another person about your piece of metal, they put on you were the one who knocked Shandar out, so they're pretty grateful for what you did. Also, threatening to pee, that was the other thing that they're pretty proud of.
Right.
Nobody in the town has threatened to pee on somebody like that, they admit.
Just take a moment.
But yeah, as you go from table to table, the attitudes change from just kind of curiosity, or from confusion to curiosity to almost mock enthusiasm. Just
Okay.
Oh wow! Well, yeah, it's a really pretty piece of metal. Where did you find that? It's really
Basket.
nice. I have no idea what it is. It must be really special. You're a really special half-orc to have found that, aren't you? Wow.
I can't quite put my finger on it, but something feels wrong with his interactions. I'm gonna go sit down.
As he goes,
I'm just getting lots of pats on the head.
well,
Yeah.
I guess, do I hear any of that?
But you can give, go ahead and give me a perception check if you want to see if you're like watching him move from table to table.
Oh, I'm still very big.
Very big.
Yeah,
Cannot
with
lie.
a 13 perception check, he's not. I don't think that is trying to be sneaky or you know
Nope.
trying to be hidden with his questioning of what the fuck this piece of metal is. So no, you see it, Valhalla.
So I think when he, he's going through, and I'm just kind of like, what is he doing? And then I start hearing some of the people that are responding with like the humoring, like somewhat demeaning tone, and I'm just gonna go to them like, you could just be nice. You don't have to butter him up like that. And I'm gonna go sit with that. Because I'm like weirdly angry and protective, but like, because I can tell like my intelligence is pretty high. And I'm just like, what word am I looking for?
Condescending.
Condescending, thank you. Yeah, it's like I can tell they're being condescending, whether or not they're meaning to, and I'm just like, that's not okay. That's really mean. And I'm gonna go sit with that.
And as you, I think as you,
talking to them.
yeah, as you sit down, you just probably hear him muttering, "I'll put the Chewingar in on it."
As you
I
sit,
was-
I'm just nodding like, oh honey, look, like I don't say anything because I just gave shit to the people who were being condescending. But I'm like, I get it.
Valhalla, give me a wisdom save.
A wisdom save.
I'll be near that much tin foil.
Okay, so get the urge as you sit down, you sit next to Thad. It's your good nature coming through, wanting to kind of comfort him as you see the rest of the being as you sending fun of him. Sit down next to him and tell him that everything is all right. And you look down, and you see the piece of metal in his intricate symbols and things drawn across it. Weird hinge of the metal. He, puts it down on the table, and you hear this kind of like hollow echo. You almost throw up. You almost retch and keel over on the table, but you hold yourself together.
You have too much of the bee booze.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's good. It's good to celebrate a time like this.
That's a celebration. I think I'm gonna go find Cora.
Oh, good idea. I got some thinking to do. I'm gonna sit here.
I tap him on the shoulder and
All right. So, is there anything else anybody would like to do as the evening drags on and things start to kind of settle down and villagers one by one start to leave? Anything anybody else would like to do before that? Resounding nope. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would ask. I think I would just ask around about Care Dinaval, if like, in the kind of nature of the speaker there is like, what do these people think of them?
They
So like every other town would
You
hate
get
them.
a vibe that it's like it's a weird town, and the speaker is incompetent. The speaker, from what they've heard, has not shown his face, and you keep hearing that same kind of rumor of something where it's like, yeah, I think he lost a leg, or like, no, he's terminally ill, and he just doesn't come out of the castle. Like, no, he's in a coma. Yeah. Somebody poisoned him. He's in a coma. But something that's always common is that there's just random mentions of odd individuals around the town.
Vampires.
Lizard men.
More like spam fire, am I right?
But yeah, you get the you keep hearing that same room about the very sick town speaker who is not made as any appearances at other towns or at the kind of like you learn through conversation that that all of the town speakers gather at Bryn Shander, the biggest town in all of 10 towns. the closest thing to a city that there is here in the far north. And they all gather there every, year or so to discuss things and work on treaties between the towns and give their individual needs and whatnot. But he has not been seen for some time. It's just kind of in a hidden face.
Oh, that reminds me. Just a question from earlier. When the dude mentioned the Black Network and the town speaker hiring, which town did he mention?
He mentioned Targos.
Targos. Okay. I had that written down. I forgot the name.
Yes, Targos.
Is that where Pantheon comes from?
Is that where what? Pantheon?
Never mind.
I know.
League joke.
Pantheon
I forget that people doesn't play League.
Oh,
No, I know what that is. I'm just like, did he just use Sparta? I don't know. The Spartan.
Targon, the mountain.
Tarragon. Great seasoning.
It's an herb, not a seasoning. Thank you very much. Also, we were discussing magpies, so
Ooh, pretty bird.
yes, we've got those all over the place up here. I've never seen one with that like exact coloring. It's usually just black, but they're pretty
They're all over
birds.
the place. If you go down to Pullman, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
with that color.
oh really? Huh. The ones we have up here like are pretty much straight black.
Yeah, that was like my favorite part of going to school was seeing those birds everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
magpies are pretty cool.
birds. And then also,
Annoying, though.
in the process of doing this, I found a website about nature in the Northwest, but I liked this birds in the area, particularly the bottom
hot
left one.
birds in your area?
Yes, no, the bottom left one.
Thinks
It's
it's
a
a
bird.
bird.
Yes, indeed. Thinks it's a bird, but
Nice.
is not a bird. All right. So the night closes out, and those who want to have a warm place to stay can. There's an inn in Goodmead that you guys can crash in, give you housing free of charge, as well as food and lodging. Earned it.
And a night of Beatonitis.
Yes. No beat.
Be nice.
It's like a pressure has been lifted from my head.
Beatonitis sounds like a Greek god. Let's be honest.
So yeah, you guys find a place to spend the evening. And as the sun breaks, as much as it does here, just like the dim sun barely just illuminating over the horizon in the dim dawn.
We should enjoy some dim sum with the dim sun.
Dim sum, the dim sun, and the dim dawn. Dim Dimmerdale,
I'm gonna find myself a very tall hat.
Oh my goodness. All right, well,
Oh,
as you guys gather in this
Like
kind of
real
like
talk,
common
I missed
room of the inn that you've stayed at, where are you guys gonna go now? I mean, there's not much else left to do here in Goodmead. You've kind of secured the corrupt folk from stealing the town speakership, and Lavessa is confident leading Goodmead. Done the town some good, in all honesty, with eliminating the threat, opening up the roads again. Their trade can continue. So, where are you guys gonna go next?
So we have.
Targos.
We can go
have-
visit Neath. Yeah.
East whatever, East Vale, East. I can't remember. now.
Dinaval, Neath, and
East Vale is where you
So
guys
we have
are here.
Bremen was mentioned at some point,
Goodmead
wasn't it?
is where you is. So
East Haven. That's the one that
yeah,
I
East
would
Haven
push for
is-
East Haven.
Is East Haven. So
Because I want to
Oh,
either see this person burn, or I want to see that they shouldn't be burned and that they should be spared the flame.
just as a
That's
general,
where I would push, but like I'm not gonna like. My character would push that, but I'm not going to push that if that's not what everybody wants
if
to
there's
do.
anything
kind of a thing.
for like determining if this is a determining factor, you guys there's an old map here in the inn, the wall, and you can kind of the innkeeper gives you like the general directions that if you just walk on foot overland travel, Bryn Shander is this bad boy over here, the biggest town in all of 10 towns. That's a good 6-hour walk away. Caer Dinaval, the town with the castle, is a solid 8 hours away. Dugan's Hole, back where you came, another 4 hours. And
Nope,
then
never going back there.
East Haven is actually pretty close, because once you get on the Eastway, that's no longer just like a snowy trail, and actually is a major trade route. So that is actually only 4.5 hours away as well.
Okay.
Taking a break then, so like he ate to Bryn Shander.
Yeah, I also just Thad is just going wherever the group wants to.
Yeah, and then Targos is over that way. Once again, things like travel to any location is not like a huge undertaking. Like walking is not that big of a deal if you stay on the main pathways. As you start to veer off and go into the frigid wilderness, then yes, things get a little bit hairy. But as you already noticed, the like, I'll just give an example, like East Haven, the time from East Haven over to Bryn Shander is 7.5 hours. So
a day's walk.
We'll just take the Skyrim approach and just walk in a straight line until we hit something interesting.
Okay, so you guys, what would you guys discuss? You guys, just as the thing, you guys do have the continuing task of finding a Chewinga to capture and bring back to the Acolyte Scientist. And obviously there are, you did hear, well, Crix heard about the wizard/witch who is going to be burned at the stake in East Haven, but also that town as well has some tasks that could need doing. Same thing goes, well, Cara Dinabal, obviously the weird rumors of the missing town speaker are suspicious as well. So, up to you guys. What would you like to do?
I deferred the more well-traveled of the party.
What was that?
I'm partial to East Haven, I think.
East Haven, and then from
watching
there...
or preventing an execution seems important.
And then from there to Cara Dinaval? Yes?
Possibly.
I'm fucking mixing up my accents here.
Perhaps this wizard or this witch, whatever it is in East Haven, perhaps they are wise and they understand what this metal is. Yes, I
It's
agree.
metal.
That
pretty
is...
sure it's metal.
I mean, I believe that you are correct.
It looks like maybe steel, possibly.
No, too light for that. Too heavy for aluminum, too light for steel. It's weird.
So it's nickel.
No. Wait, what's a nickel?
It's another metal.
So it sounds like East Haven is... Does anybody have, as you guys all gather and talk, any objections to heading to East Haven?
I don't think so. Seems like we're all okay with that.
Oh, are we bringing any of those goats that we
That is another question.
I was trying to ask, do we still have the cart?
You absolutely do still have the cart. That will... I mean, it won't honestly make your travel time that much quicker, because, in all honesty, goat-drawn cart is not the most common means of transportation here in the far frigid north. If anything, it'd be more common to...
You know what that tells me, though? That means we need to get a bigger animal. Say, like, a mammoth.
Sure. Yeah, a mammoth would pull a cart
Good luck,
pretty damn fast.
good luck taming a mammoth.
It's okay. I have proficiency with land vehicles.
A mammoth is a land vehicle. Yep.
I mean, so if you guys stick to the main roads, especially like the Eastway or something like that, yeah, it would actually probably, I would say, would allow you, as long as you maintain good goat handling, to shorten your trip a little bit.
And we could probably carry more too, because we'd have a cart to put things in.
Right. The thing
By
with,
the
like,
time we're at the end of this, we're gonna have a cart and like 400 goats, and we're just gonna be the fastest.
well, I would just say this type of transportation would make sense for traveling along these like established roads and trails, right? Where they're well traveled. There's like, like you could see where things are going. If you ever had to do some sort of expedition out into the frigid wilds, then drawn goat carriage would fail you immediately.
Right.
Got it.
Like,
So
it took you a little bit longer, and you remember this, like coming back to the very big cave. It took you almost like a couple hours, maybe like 2-3 hours longer to get back. Than
And that was just out here somewhere.
yeah,
right?
it wasn't
pretty
that
close
far.
then.
Yeah, like it's actually like a legitimately long way. Actually, don't know how accurate that is.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like the actual like
The mile
the
indicators,
mile
you mean?
indicators. Actually, let me go look because there's a legend down there at the bottom, right?
Oh,
should be.
Yeah.
It's
so
very accurate.
I do not see it.
it is
Oh.
actually 100% accurate. Yeah.
Oh, actually, we can't see that.
Oh, really?
That's on the-
that's
that's on the
Yeah.
game layer.
silly. No, it isn't even. Where the fuck is it?
Right. This reminds me. I wanted to see this.
It's on a what? What layer is it on?
Oh no, I'm not selecting it. Ha 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 ha! I'm still on measurement. Right, there we go. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, if you measure along that, it's 100% accurate.
Let's see. So this,
Perfect.
just again, because I like frames of reference, this is basically the size of like, well, LA Basin. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you were off the beaten path, it took you 8 hours to
Or
go from
Delaware.
Verbig's lair, which was probably like up here. So that was like 3.5
few miles.
miles at max.
Wow.
But that was because it was through like the wood and actual like untrodden path. Like you were following footprints through the wood.
How many tree wells have we fallen?
Probably quite a few. Okay, so the morning.
I kept chasing bunnies.
So see, yeah, like the distance there, even though it is close to 10 miles to get there, it is only about 4.5 hours. Because traveling
Which is like-
on the
that's a-
road is
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
pretty close.
That's just a general
Like,
walking
that's
speed.
standard
So
walking speed,
yeah.
yeah.
cool.
perfect.
All right, so if you wanted to bring the goat cart, the villagers wouldn't miss them. I mean, as you already learned, maybe like a couple of them were from the village, but they can't remember which one. They've been stolen from merchants and traders throughout 10 towns over the course of probably, a year or more at that. Slowly collected by Doug.
I would like to keep watch on Lonk.
Of course, Lonk's the co-pilot.
Mhm.
So, as you guys tidy up, get everything together, and start to head out, hitch up the goat cart 64. At least how many goat power is it right now? 12 goat power,
Oh.
because the 13th goat is in the cart. Unless you make that one like Rudolph and put him in the front.
We got the power of a small lawnmower. Let's go.
Yeah.
Literally.
So the most ridiculous crew gears up to leave Goodmead, being drawn by a 12 goat/sheep, a wagon drawn by 12 goats and sheep combined, all bleeding and chewing at random tufts of frozen grass that have popped up on the ground, looking extremely hungry and a little bit. You can tell that their attitudes have changed a little bit now that they're out of the warm Verbig cave. That they're now like back in the real world. They're a little bit disappointed. Like you all get that.
Oh no.
You all get that vibe.
How
really
are we? Look it up.
I get the vibe that Lonk is throwing shade.
Also, just a random question. I have a note here that I have armor against the chest hit from the oven lid or whatever it was. I strapped to my chest. I assume that's long gone at this
Yeah,
point.
that's fallen off at some point.
Okay. It was just trying to do my best Clint Eastwood impression. Back in the
I just
day.
imagine like it just fell off in the middle of a conversation and you just kept going as if nothing happened.
Yeah, it's when you sat down at one of the many tables last night to discuss the other piece of metal that you were looking at. You just sat down and just went pang on the ground, and then you thought nothing of it.
Yep, sounds about right.
All right. So, you guys head off along the trail. Nothing really gets in your way as you guys make your way to what is actually the East Way here that connects Bryn Shander and East Haven. And for the first time, as you pull up your goat cart, you actually have to take a moment to wait for a small break in the traffic. It's not like a hustling, bustling roadway, but you see that this is actually pretty well maintained. Not paved by any means, but it seems well traveled enough that, as you start to pull out, you hear somebody holler at you as a big furry horse-drawn or oxen-drawn cart just thunders your way and just goes, coming from East Haven going west towards Bryn Shander.
Damn SUVs.
Exactly. So yeah, make a right, head off towards East Haven, and we'll take a quick break now as you guys see the town of East Haven distance. And I'll drag you over to the map there, so you can sizes compared to small bar, as this is one of the first larger towns. As you arrive.
This is much bigger than Good Meat because it looks like the first two, if I'm judging by the dots, the first two are much smaller.
Here's East.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's a
huge.
This is
It's a
second
damn
place.
boy.
It's still loading on my side. So thick.
That's a thick ass city.
Yeah, it's actually a town.
Wow, look at
Thick
those
city.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like docks and everything. That's really cool.
So,
It's like a
guys.
racetrack here.
the what?
There's like a racetrack right here.
Yeah, there's something. So, you guys
Gotta get go-karting.
start to pull up, and you can see the smokes, like smoke and steam from chimneys and buildings. rising
Wait,
up
if we
into
go to the racetrack, then this can be goat kart double dash. That could be this episode.
Exactly. You can actually have a reason to play this song.
Oh.
And it's actually from Double Dash.
Yep.
Everyone, get your bananas.
Oh gosh, this is such a nostalgia bomb. Holy shit.
Banana time.
Or Frappe
Song that makes
Snowland.
everyone hate Waboogie.
Oh, I hope you're not in first.
Blue shell coming your way.
Yeah, it's basically just Waboogie shadow stepping into the first
Yeah, shadow step in the cart.
All right, so let's take a quick 10-minute break. Grab refills, grab snackos, and you guys will arrive in East City. That is the largest city you've seen so far here in the frozen frigid north. Right back.
Right now.
All right, thank you for everybody who is chilling here with us tonight. We'll be right back. 10-minute quick break. Back in 10. Stay tuned. Hang out. Chill out. We're gonna listen to some more funk because funk's good. I like funk.
is not by chance misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In the spirit of this rule for everyone who earns rich.
Okie dokie. Back to it.
An ice cream for kids. It's ice cream for adults.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yo, Cletus is about to fucking Chuckles is about to
And the best part is
great
when the-
because
burn that booty hole. I'm excited for him.
oh my.
The best part is, as soon as the cops show up, you can just drive off.
What? Oh, we're talking about an adult ice cream truck?
We're talking about selling booze out of a van that you also make the booze in.
There's some states where that would be legal.
I think you'd still have to have a liquor license, though.
Oh, yeah. But, you know.
Oh, I'm sure there's places where food trucks are.
You're not buying alcohol. You're buying ice cream, and you just get a free complimentary booze. Is that it?
Yeah.
You're not selling booze.
That probably is.
Yeah, it's just a like $16 ice cream cone.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get a shot of vodka to go with it.
Fun times.
But yeah, we were talking about how I spiced my own rum, and there was the miscommunication of I made my own rum, as in.
I thought you meant spiked your own rum, and I was like, bro,
No.
what?
Yeah, I just put more rum in rum. Don't worry about it.
It's a classic
Then,
move.
Yeah, that's my favorite cocktail is just like a shot of vodka poured into a glass of vodka.
Dude, I chased vodka with vodka exactly one time, and I will never do it again.
So a streamer that I watch, he has patented spicy water, which is just vodka with water. That's it.
I mean, that's essentially a vodka soda, but not carbonated.
Yeah. And ironically, I would almost call spicy water. You'd have to have carbonation because that's what when you're a kid, you think that's spicy water is like carbonation.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, spiked rum with Everclear? Just get rid of the spiked rum. You're good.
I mean, if you want the flavor of rum and you want it to be boozy, just get overproof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like get a 151, like
Captain.
and just
You don't drink the drink for the drink. You drink the drink for the effect, okay?
see. The thing is I drink the drink for the drink. The effect is a nice secondary.
Yeah,
it's a
I was
secondary
like, that's not how I think
Speaking of
at
which,
all.
this margarita in a can is dangerous.
Nasty. It is nasty is the word he was looking
Nasty,
for.
stingy, ratchet.
Two opinions on this.
It's ratchet as fuck. This would get you fucked up, big time. Because it's as Derpy just put it. She's like, this is like a Jose Cuervo margarita in a can, because it's probably not that like high end of any sort of like or any sort of tequila.
I imagine when you decide that you're going to put your margarita in a can, you probably have started with low standards.
Ironically,
necessarily.
like wine in a can is really, really good. There's some wines in a can.
Speaking
And
of,
not only that, but it's classy because you have to bring your own salt, okay?
Yeah,
Salt
it's just
not
like
included.
speaking
I
of
don't know.
those standards, I have finished the liquid death that is now
Wait,
in
you
front of me.
finished it?
Sorry, I said rephrase
You nailed it.
I finished
Finish
cooking it.
cooking
Oh
it.
my god, I thought I was like,
No, I haven't even
that would be,
started.
Like record
No.
time.
No,
God
that would
fears
I would
you.
die.
This is true.
I haven't had this double spicy one in over a year, so I'm ready for the reckoning of. Yeah.
You're gonna be as red
make
as
the
the
reckoning.
wrapping on that when you're done eating it.
Oh, yeah,
It
and then I
doesn't
pour it-
reckon that much when it comes out. But
No, it's not compared to others, but it's just it's
it's the
absolutely a
mouth.
tongue buster.
No, it's like you get
Yeah.
that like you get the spice high from it. I've gotten spice high from because we have the
Yeah,
we have the
this-
one that's even hotter than that,
The 4X? Yeah.
the volcano one.
Yeah. I thought, actually, you're right. This is not that one. That's the last time I had it was the volcano one. So this is the not as spicy.
They have
spicy.
good flavor. It's actually like spice with flavor. I admire.
I
them.
actually have it. Yeah, they actually sell a hot sauce made out of it too, which I've cooked with, and it's actually very good.
That's like my problem with a lot of spicy stuff is just lack of flavor. But if it has good flavor, I'm good
it's
with
great
spice.
flavor. The flavor is
It's
excellent.
very savory. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I will say I like spicy stuff, but not all the time. I'm like,
Oh yeah, once in a while type of thing.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
Oh, where's I
That's
eat
so
spicy pretty much everything. Like my lunch today was kimchi fried rice with extra hot sauce.
Wowzer.
I think more than anything with spice, I just hate the lingering. I don't mind like the pain in a moment or anything like that. But like if it just sits there, it just
Right,
eats
and
at
there's
you, I
different
hate it.
types of spices. Like that's kind of like if there's not a good flavor and it's just spicy and it just hurts and it lasts, that's not fun.
That's
That's
pointless.
that's what I like
If you're
about
not sweating 30
habaneros.
minutes later, then what are you doing with your life?
But like a good, like my favorite pepper is habanero. Like a
Yep,
like
that's
over
a-
fresh habanero things or just fresh and things. It's such a good flavor.
Okay, I think my favorite pepper is a poblano.
Yeah, those are good.
I just love poblanos. They're not super spicy, but I just love the
They're
flavor.
versatile. flavor.
Mhm.
I have
Great with
weird-
pork, great with chicken.
Oh man, these noodles are kind of slimy.
All right, so
That's hot.
bad. Actually, there's something I meant. I just looked at my notes.
Yep.
Would you have been sleeping with all of your special shinies that you had found the day before?
Oh yeah. I'm not leaving that out of my.
Okay,
my
cool.
question.
Give me a wisdom save, retroactively.
Oh no. Oh wait, no. Wisdom's actually my second good,
Yeah, it's ironic.
not awful. side.
Arms very
Wisdom
wise.
save. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So when you guys left the town of Goodmead and were getting up and getting all your stuff organized, Thad was just sluggish. Thad, you had the worst nightmare that night of being out in the cold tundra, blizzard blowing in, you couldn't see shit, just freezing, and then you wake up and your window had like blown open in the middle of the night or something like that, and you notice that your bed covering in the inn that you were sleeping in is has a thin layer of snow all over it.
Oh,
You did not sleep well. You have a point of exhaustion.
Oh fuck!
Damn Chewinga.
Is there exhaustion tracker on this?
No, you can put it on.
I'll add it.
There's an
Yeah.
option.
I think there is one. You can turn those.
no,
Yeah,
you
it's
can turn it
in,
on. You can turn it on in the
yeah.
options.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That sounds neat. Let's do that.
So
I'll look for it.
during your journey here, Thad is a little bit more lethargic, a little bit less talkative, but Bold is bracing and wakes him up a little bit better. But yeah, you were kept up most of the night with nightmares, tossing and turning in your sleep. As you guys arrive in East Haven, it feels like you've started stepping back into the heralded past of Icewind Dale. As you make your way into some of the more populated streets, you notice that this place looks like it's been stuck in time. It's got a boomtown feel of what gripped Icewind Dale centuries ago when this place was a bustling trading region. You also notice, interestingly, there are signs with the same saying on it, posted on various walls, buildings, fences, and signposts, saying, "Watch thy pouch."
That's not ominous.
I'm watching my pouch, but it ain't doing anything.
You see the heraldry of
No, I think they need your money pouch, Dad.
Oh, right.
Maybe this whole town is like a gay club, and it's like you're looking at pouches.
Those who have spent some time, I'd say Bulra and Val, you guys can roll a quick history check to remember what you've heard about East Haven through your time spent here.
more like Least Haven.
I don't
Yeah.
Val, do you want to... Isaac.
That sounds
Wow,
like nerd
both of them
shit.
roll the same shit. Cool. All right, so both of you guys learn or know the same thing, and as you see the signs, the "Watch Thy Pouch" signs, you remember this very immediate. East Haven was actually founded by thieves from the Duchy of Cape Velen, peninsula far to the south, and they refused to bow to a powerful thieves guild in that area of Cape Velen, and migrated here up to the north. So to this day, East Haven founders to this day, East Haven honors its shady founders by declaring pickpocketing legal within the town's city limits.
Oh, big.
Okay.
So you
Here,
guys,
guys.
Wait, just
Bag
real
of
quick,
holding. Come on. Come on.
is this also another? It's not Cholton though, but it's another peninsula from the south.
Yeah, somewhere in the south. Not Chalton, not tropical at all. Kind of
Oh,
vibes.
okay.
This place literally feels like an old west town.
Oh, nice.
Boomtown vibes. You know, big saloon style fronts to things. But as you guys are entering the town,
Tumbleweed somehow.
it is weirdly empty. In terms of, you only see a few people in their homes, older folks, like on their porches, looking friendly enough.
I will go ahead and put my 334 copper and 72 silver into the bag of
I
holding.
thought you were gonna say, up your butt.
Prison
Did
bar.
the Chloe here?
Yep, I've only got one hold down there, guys.
Oh, man.
Just a reminder.
In and
Cool,
out,
wake up,
man.
Holden.
In and out. All right, Valhalla and Kolra. I mean, do you guys relay that information to the party about what you guys know about this place?
Well, that's why.
Cora wouldn't, but she'd think it would be funny.
No, I mean that's why I put out the bag of holding.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll be
sure.
okay. But this is how I'll relay it. I won't go through the history and why I know this and all that shit. I'll be like, guys, see this sign right here? This means everything needs to go into the bag of holding. Otherwise, you could say bye to it.
Mm.
And I'm just holding out the bag of holding.
Are they like gonna take it at the gate? Like, what do you mean?
You're already walking through the city. There's no
Oh,
gate here.
You can take my gold, but you cannot take my metal bits. I'm gonna
If you
hold
want
on
to
to
keep your
those.
metal bits, I suggest you put them in the bag. Oh,
Oh,
wait, no,
they can-
Val, you don't
I'd
want those
rather
metal bits at all.
I don't want those anyway,
Right.
so keep those. But
Yes,
yeah,
wise choice. Damn, I'm
I'll
tired.
put my gold in the bag.
Yeah, same. I'll just keep it tracked on the.
Yeah, I'm keeping it tracked as well, just to.
So we don't forget.
yeah, because I'm definitely gonna steal your gold into the bag of holding.
I mean, literally just so I don't forget. But yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I don't actually have pockets, so I'm just holding on to the bag the whole time. Actually, that's
Just,
not true.
I can imagine you, like out in front of you, like bagging your.
Yeah, I think I do have pockets.
Feels like every time we go into combat, drops a bag on ground. Shit, we're gonna leave my money.
Yeah, it's like a clutch. It's not even like has a strap or anything.
Yeah, there's no strap. It's just one stack.
So you guys I'll say that any of your valuables that you want to keep go in the bag of holding. You don't need to remove them from your person. Know that they are in the bag of holding for now. But as you guys are walking around the city, you don't see anybody like gets weirdly close to you. You start to make your way further in. Your goat cart on this main little highway.
Every
Those
time you
ice
say
physics.
go-kart, I hear go kart. When did we get a go kart?
We've always had a go-kart.
Every single time.
Yep.
So the road that you're on.
My friend is gone, by the way. I'm sad.
Which friend? Oh yeah, your little
Nah,
fox guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So making your way along this main road, the house fronts and building fronts pass you by. As I said, it's all got that kind of western feel, saloon style, old west, prospecting type of thing. And as you pass some of the roads, you can see that one of them goes down. You can see the frozen lake and the docks, multiple docks and piers, reaching out into the frozen lake. And as you start to make your way further and further into town, you can start to hear a commotion from in front of you. As you round this corner, your goats leading the way. Ahead of you, you see a large crowd gathered around a big building. And you start to see smoke fill the air.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're too late.
Quirks, isn't this something you wanted to take care of or ask about?
I think we're a little late to be asking, but I would like to watch.
Well,
Maybe it's just like a display fire.
yeah, like, the storefront, so you know how hot it can get before you purchase said fire.
So you guys start to your path starts to get a little bit crowded as you make your way here to the center. You see this large building, and there's basically like the straggling of a big crowd, where there's just kind of the people on the outer fringes, just kind of like talking to each other, just being there, just wanting to be a part of it, but not actually trying to push to the front to see what's going on. But over the heads of the crowd, you can see what looks to be probably a 5-6 foot tall pile of wood and twigs and debris, and smoke slowly rising from the center of it. And in the center, you see a man dressed up. He's bound and gagged to this stake in the middle of this pile, and you see members of what look to be like the militia of the town, same sort of folk that you saw in Goodmead, walking around the outer fringes of this pile of wood, using their torches to light the straw tucked beneath his feet. Fanned by the wind that suddenly picks up from off the lake, you watch as the fire quickly catches, and this individual on the stake does not struggle or scream, as he is quickly engulfed in flames. The bundled up spectators move closer to the human bonfire, eager to get some warmth.
Oh god.
What did he do?
Noticing what's going on, Cora will immediately cover Valhana's eyes.
Did you cover that before the fire fanned all the way over to him?
Yeah,
Because...
okay. Immediately I was like, oh shit, this is happening.
Thank you. My gosh.
Apparently,
I was listening to all of that, and Val was just like, "What did he even do?"
There's never.
No.
Apparently, he murdered some adventurers, or she. I'm not sure. I can't see from here. I'm trying to hop up with my short stature.
Yeah, just
look over the crowd.
Hopping up, looking over the crowd. All you can see is just the kind of just shadowy outline of somebody being engulfed by flames. And very soon you hear the crack, and there's a plume of sparks that fly up into the air as the bonfire just turns from being the execution pyre to just being a giant bonfire in the center of the town square.
Yeah, no, scream that entire time.
None.
No, nothing. Okay.
As you're standing there, you see an individual coming out of the crowd. A woman bedecked in a tailored cloak and some fur. She approaches as out of the crowd and looks at you, cocks her head. Hey, you're not from around here. I don't recognize you as one of our townsfolk.
What gave it away?
Nope.
The name's, Captain, Arlagath. Imdra Arlagath. Captain of the guard here in East Haven.
Sounds like you really like the words captain and Algath.
Well, that's my title and my last name.
But you just said
Also, go fuck
3
yourself.
times and introduce yourself.
It is a pleasure.
Enjoying the show? She, motions with her thumb over her shoulder towards the fire in the middle of the town square.
Val's just standing there, shaking her head, ever so slightly, just shaking her head constantly, just no.
He's still covered.
Is this normally what you do for fun?
Oh, no, this isn't for fun. It's an execution. That man committed crimes against the people of Icewind Dale.
What crimes? What was there a trial? Is there proceedings, or is it just hey, who done it?
Was he related to why it's so dark and cold up here right now?
No, I highly doubt that.
Oh, darn.
More so the fact that he, sauntered into town a week or so ago, hired some adventuring crew, much like yourselves. I can tell your type. Went off on some harebrained mission and, killed them all. Coldly murdered them.
What was his angle or motive?
Came back?
You asked if he came back?
Yeah, if you just walked back in, it's oh, I need more adventurers.
Whoops, broke my last set.
She looks at you and goes, No. He came through and went off in search of some ruins, he was saying. Grabbed some people, went off there, and He killed all those adventurers and, well, made his way back here in East Haven and promptly murdered anybody who he told was going off in that direction. It wasn't just that adventuring crew. Murdered innocent townsfolk as well. He fled.
You sound so shaken up about it.
Well, he fled. We tried to catch him, put him on trial right then. He fled, but luckily, he was stupid enough to come back into the town. Oh, he was disguised. Absolutely, though. Most of us had our eyes out for him. One of my militia members recognized Zahn by the way he walked and spoke. Captured him, bound him, gagged him, took a spell book, condemned him to death.
Seems reasonable to me.
But seems like an unreasonable set of actions.
Yeah,
There's got to be more to that.
it was quite strange. He murdered people in cold blood, in sight of others as well. Anything, or anybody who knew where he had been going or where he was trying to venture off to, murdered them.
Seems like he was trying to protect something he had found.
Well, now it dies with him. Good riddance. Whatever he was after was cursed.
Does it, real quick on that, does it seem strange to you that someone who is burned to the stake did not make a single sound?
He looks back over his shoulder. Yeah, I mean, expected more of a show for it, but what's done is done. He's dead. Good riddance.
It did sound like he's a dick.
I did get that sense. It is true. Do you mind if I take a closer look at his burnt remains?
Well,
No reason.
if you can make your way through the crowd, you're more than welcome to. This is a welcome warmth. As much as I'm sure that they're glad to see him executed, they are also even more glad for a bonfire. We
Do you burn people often? I'm really cold.
He looks to you. No, not too often. But luckily enough, this coincides very nicely with our time of sacrifice here in East Haven. So, the execution doubles as a sacrifice to Aurel. It's what we do here.
Does Aurel accept convenient sacrifices? I'm just asking, just curious. I mean, it seems
He
weird.
doesn't seem to discern. Now more of a tradition here that we uphold, with the hopes of maybe one day she'll be satisfied. We uphold our own here. We won't be the ones who are at fault when maybe one of the other towns don't honor their sacrifice. Sure, the Dugan's Holes idiots over there have been cheating their sacrifice of warmth.
Oh no, they've embraced it, and each other.
She laughs when you say that. Absolutely right. Inbred idiots wouldn't know a trout's ass from a trout's mouth.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
She looks to you, Cora. She just like, you're right, and I'm sorry that I just put that image in my head. Well, while I have you here, you seem to be sturdy folk. Look like you're up for a bit of a task. We have an issue
I
here.
puff out my chest.
We have an issue here that's
Right, you talk to him. I'm gonna look at the body. Okay, bye. And I just leave.
Sure.
That's his level. Yeah, that's his level of bluntness.
I apologize. He's a bit slow.
I'm not slow.
He's pretty quick. He's done it.
Yeah, Thad, you're able to kind of push and elbow your way through the crowd. You get to the front, and the warmth is striking. You've been out in the cold for all day, and you had a terrible night's sleep, not feeling the greatest. But as soon as you get to the front, it's almost unbearably warm as this giant execution pyre, almost like 10 feet in diameter, 5 feet high, of sticks and straw and just like dry wood, now just a giant tower of flame. And in it, you do see the charred remains a la Aunt Beru and
Uncle.
Uncle Owen.
just kind of in the flames, the center of the pile.
Just look at it, just nod my head and go, he's dead. And then I'll just like wait for a moment. I'll take my 2 hands out and like start rubbing him in front and holding out to the fire.
Yeah,
I'll stand there.
In the metal gauntlets. Just
Yeah, in the metal gauntlets because they conduct the heat.
they get warm
Actually,
real
they-
quick, and you can see some of the
they're
villagers next to you
they're
looking
radiated.
mighty jealous of your new warmth mittens. They kind of look to you and see that a few ideas pop into their heads. They realize that.
This is a newer
and
model.
then they stop having that idea when they smell the burning flesh. They're just like, oh, never mind.
Well, that's actually the fire is big enough that it masks it for sure. Like it's mainly just the smell of smoke.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
that's fair as well.
So,
Also, the smell of burning flesh probably is already in the air.
so the
I just looked
captain,
over.
the captain
Yeah, sorry,
looks
go
to the
ahead.
remaining group who's still here around the goat wagon. Before she begins, she looks over and she looks up and down at this thing. She does. It's an unusual mode of transportation for the far north here in Icewind Dale. Not often do we see a goat-drawn wagon.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Top line.
it's a matter of happenstance more than anything.
Custom made, super expensive. You couldn't afford it.
She squints and she's like, I think I recognize one of those sheep. Maybe.
I know.
Possibly. But that's no matter. We have a bit of an issue here. Some of our fishermen have gone missing. 4 fishermen, to be exact. Went missing out on the loch. She points, down the road, not too far away. You can see the frozen lake out there. Not but, 200 feet down the road. They've been gone about a 10-day out on Loch Dinneshere. The coastline is hard to sail along because of the ice, but few of our savvy anglers prefer it. There are fewer competing fishers out here than other lake towns. We need someone to scout the coastline and search for them. Bring back any sort of reports of bodies found, their vessel, or what has happened to them. Fairly simple task. You seem like you'd be up for it.
How dangerous is it to walk on the loch?
Oh, we would be able to give you a boat as well. Just go down to the docks and you'd be able to borrow one at my orders.
Okay, so it's not frozen over or anything. It's just
No, it's
Cool.
more like ice flow. It's not like a solid
Okay.
ice lake. It's just it's like
It's
big
like
slushy.
Dangerous to navigate, possibly, but still
Mhm.
doable.
okay. Well, I think we can handle that.
If you do this for me, I can't. Well, I'm not authorized to give reward per se, but she looks over her shoulder and looks back to you guys. I did confiscate 2 interesting items off of that wizard that we just burned that may be of interest to you. Be able to bring back news of those fishermen.
Sounds promising.
Misplaced in the evidence locker, I suppose.
She winks. Maybe.
Very well. Shall we away then, gentlemen and ladies?
I asked for one more, quote unquote, reward.
She looks at you. Sure. What would you request?
Information of where exactly this man had been heading, where you believe he killed those people.
He nods. Information is a adequate reward. Absolutely, I can definitely look to give you that. I'll ask around if anybody still knows who was not killed by him. He seemed to be pretty thorough, however, but if you're able to give me the information on what happened to those fishermen, absolutely would be able to information of where that man was heading. Did I give you his name?
I think so, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh
Well,
man,
he went by Dazan. That was his name.
Dazan.
Yeah, D-Z-A-A-N.
Gosh, that sounds like a fucking knockoff purse brand.
I got my Dazan purse with my
Yeah.
Dazan loafers. Well, so
That's why you need to use him.
She looks back to the group of townsfolk in the square, and you can see that the bonfire is getting a little bit lower now. The giant tower of flame is now turned low bonfire. Thad, your hands are adequately warmed, almost too hot at this point.
Yep, I should go find the rest of everybody.
It starts to smell
Get your
like
head.
cooking smell. You can smell of almost like rare meat.
That's probably fine. I'm not going to worry about that at all.
Yeah, I'll find my way back. I feel like if I like move people aside with my gloves or the gauntlets now, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
there's a
like the
slight
melting
hissing
snow.
sound, and there's a everybody is bundled up in furs, so you're not like
Yeah.
touching any bare skin, but you notice that people like look down and like after you pass them, Thad, you watch they're like patting down their furs and their leathers, just like what the fuck? As there's like a black mark on their side as you just brush past them.
Yep. Sorry, I am making my way through downtown.
You guys see Thad return, and as he comes out of the crowd, you can see there's some slight steam, maybe even smoke, coming out from inside of his gauntlets.
Yep, he's dead.
Thank you. I was worried.
Well, now you do not have to worry any longer, for I have solved the mystery.
We appreciate your contributions.
You are welcome. So what are we doing?
We are, yes,
Oh, all right. What are we doing?
to the docks.
As the captain leaves you to whatever you guys are going to be doing, heading up towards the docks, Crix, you feel the clank of the lantern at your side.
I fucking light that shit up.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
I believe in the power.
17.
Okay. So you watch as you light it, you hold it up, and kind of put it on a swivel. The lantern glows faintly green. The direction of the southeast.
Ooh.
A change of plans, and I'm just gonna start walking quickly in that direction.
But
He's never held a job for very long, because I don't think that's how this works.
And then I'm gonna keep going.
Crix is heading off, following. You see Crix just like holding out the lantern, turns it around, glows softly green, and he heads off in that direction as he follows the green. You can see, and Crix, you have to like do kind of, you're using it like a compass, right? Like you walk to an intersection, like turn around, angle it one way, turn around, aim it the other way, figure out which way it's glowing the strongest, and keep following it.
Yep, I keep doing that.
Cora puts up her wing, like between Valhalla and the burning body, and then puts her hands down so she can see Crix just kind of take off. And just, so, we following him, or we heading to the boats?
I mean, I feel like he's gonna get lost on his own. He kind of gives me that vibe. But also,
He
it'd be
lights himself
really
on fire, it's
funny.
fine.
Oh, I was muted. I'm following him.
All right, so Thad immediately takes off after Crix.
Oh, God.
Yeah, now I feel
Well,
like
the
we
two of
have-
them together, we can't let go alone.
Yeah. I'm in agreement.
Right.
Man, I feel like I'm being dragged down a bit by Thad and people's opinions.
It's the company you keep, right?
Exactly, it's completely
Yep.
your fault.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess we chase after him.
Yeah, it's just a comical thing as Crix just lights a lantern, heads off in a direction. Thad, who's probably like sniffing the air around coming out of his gloves, like looks around, sees that Crix is gone, looks around the corner, sees the lizard folk huffing it off in a direction, runs after him. The goat mobile is parked. What do you guys get? Are you just following?
I suppose.
Right. So, the group, as you guys follow, you stumble upon Crix, who you've now hit an area, Crix, where there's a little bit of an opening. And You see a snow-covered building or snow-covered cottage at the edge of town. Gone for quite some time. Into the snow-covered building, and then suddenly the door bursts open. Snow falls off of the roof onto the floor or onto the ground as you see a woman bundled up, stomping out. As she sees you, Crix, she yells as the wind is starting to pick up. She yells into the wind. She says, "Fuck you, wind! This fucking building is cursed. Don't go in there. It's cursed. The wind. Watch out for the cursed winds. Trickster spirits have been opening my windows, sending horrible chills through my home, knocking over my cups and plates. Even some of my cutlery has gone missing. Oh, the damn winter wind. Fuck you!" She does double middle fingers up towards the sky as the wind blows her hood back and she reaches back. "Oh shit, it's cold! Fuck!" Jeez. "Heard there's a bonfire in the town square that smells of human burning. I'm off to that."
Have fun.
The second the woman says, "Don't go in here," Cora starts counting down under her breath to when Thad is just going to go inside the building.
I feel like I must go inside this building.
Does it sing to you?
You see so you watch this rickety. You see this rickety cottage here at the edge of town, and you can definitely see she's not lying. The windows are thrown open, and there is snow lining the windowsills, and the door is still left open as well. It seems she just doesn't give a fuck, and she's just gone. Okay, so you head inside. It's a small little cottage, pretty homely. Fire in the center. There's one of those fire pits in the center with a small roof chimney opening. A shoddy bed in one corner, a low table. A couple small storage cabinets next to that low table where you can see, yeah, they've been thrown open. Obviously, she had been looking for something before you guys arrived and angrily stormed out.
I will hold up the lantern and look around the room with it.
Yeah, the lantern still glows that strong green. Anybody who's interested, give me an investigation check.
Yeah,
boy.
Can it be an advantage because I'm using the lantern to see when it's the brightest?
No, everybody will give me investigation because it's all the same brightness here. You've now gotten to max bright.
Gotcha.
Maximum bright.
As we're all kind of looking around, Calder's going so, I may or may not have been drunk when the conversation occurred. What's this lantern for?
It spots spirits.
Well, it spots elementals.
It finds mystery.
Yeah, like little spirits.
Elementals are primordial beings. They are not spirits.
But they're pretty much spirits.
They're definitely up to something, that's what I know.
They're elemental spirits.
It's a conspiracist mine.
Yep.
Conspiracy.
That's what I tried to say and I failed.
That's what I just left the Y off.
Yeah.
I just said spirits.
See, that's the difference, though, is mine's a pun. Yours it falls flat because it doesn't have the T in
I
it.
tried to get there. I just stopped short.
I appreciate the self-control to not go full stupid. That's my job.
All right. So, why'd you roll Arcana? I don't even understand. TW3.
I don't know what's going on here.
He's looking if his lamp is well enough to go back into.
I know it is a very nice lamp you have there.
It is cold as shit in this. It is cold as shit in this cottage. You would definitely love to just go back in your.
I get big Arrested Development vibes from this group.
So seeing how cold the old man is and how so sadly confused he's been this entire time, Cora's wing just kind of goes around him to try to help keep him warm.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Hylas
always
is-
so cold.
Hylas is now feeling a little bit more cold, wrapped in the downy feathers of Cora's wing.
Oh no.
A little more cold?
A little bit more warm.
appreciate-
Sorry, not cold.
Oh,
Oh my god.
the voice in my head told me I'm cold, but now I'm warm. Thank you very much.
Next time I throw out my gauntlets, you can use them.
Oh yeah. By the way, here you go. Nice little player, nice little art for you guys to see what you guys witnessed previously.
Oh hell yeah, Burning Man.
Hell yeah.
I wanna
shit,
go
I
to
didn't do any
Burning Man.
drugs. Where's Sedna when you need her?
Goddamn Fire Nation cultural victory.
Look, he even had a little wizard hat on. Look at him.
Oh, there's the wizard. Fuck.
Can we go back and get that for Kylos?
It says wizard.
Yeah, I don't like this
Wow.
opinionated article that calls him an evil wizard. We don't know that.
I'm gonna need a fact checker to check that one.
Judgment has been cast.
Yellow
I
dragon.
feel like evil wizards don't have hats. Only good wizards have hats.
That's how they're in
That's how you can
he came
identify
back
it.
in disguise, so
I feel like evil wizards have circlets.
well, yeah, but he came back in disguise, so he wore a good wizard.
Oh, you're right. That makes sense. He put on the good wizard hat and he's like, look, I'm a good wizard, guys.
Oh, they just burned him in his good wizard outfit to make him feel
Yeah.
better or something. I don't know.
All right. So as those who did I say? Valhalla, Fletcher, and Devin. You guys look around this small little cottage. All three of you notice on the windowsills of around the area, there are tiny little footprints on the snowy windowsill. Look out, and you can see that they are leading towards nearby thicket.
Do
I
they
will head
look
towards.
like they could be Chwinga-sized footprints?
Why don't you roll me a survival check, Hirokin?
You know, funny thing about that, I have proficiency.
Oh shit!
So those who the three of you, the Valhalla, Krix, and Hirokin, point out the tracks, and Hirokin, with that roll, you actually can discern once you find them, or pointed out to them. These are 3 separate tracks, 3 different little. They all are about the same size and shape, but they are 3 unique footprints.
I would relay this information to the group and then just go like, why would 3 different things?
You also noticed, Hirokin, if you look closer, what looked like maybe just a bit of snowdrift or something odd. Some of these footprints have a thin furrow in the snow alongside them, like something was being dragged behind them.
Like a rail or like a stick in the ground, or would be kind of like.
Oh yeah, it looks like stick
Like
size, about that size.
Oh no, they cast Tiny Servant.
I'm following the footprints despite not knowing what they actually are. I just made an assumption and I'm following them.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing else in the house that you find. It's a pretty, pretty desolate little cottage. And
Question: the lantern has glass panes. Does it have glass panes, or is it like open-sided?
It's glass panes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, the little let me see, just yeah, it's basically just a normal lantern with that can be like a hooded lantern. So, the group, you guys follow these little footprints, and anybody. What is everybody's passive perception right now?
12.
Ooh, 11.
12.
Surprise, it's double digits.
16.
Alright, Kolra, Demovan, and Krix. As you start to get close to what looks to be a small little thicket of conifers, you can hear the sound of movement. You hear the sound of plates clinking together, and the sound of like utensils on plates.
looking into this thicket, do I see 3 Chwinga or so having a tea party?
Why, yes, you do. Peeking through the bushes, you see 3 little Chwingas sitting with a dinner plate in between them. And on the plate are branches and pine cones arrayed on it. One Chwinga is sitting on the edge of the plate, while the 2 others are moving a fork and a knife as if to cut and eat the pine cone.
Oh, that's adorable.
I'm getting down low and sneaky like.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
Doesn't seem like they're getting anywhere trying to cut these pine cones.
Hail, Chwingas.
They are definitely not.
Sorry, what are they trying to cut?
A pine cone.
There's like a pine cone and some twigs and branches on this plate.
Kind of weird.
They think they're people. How cute.
Oh, they think they're people.
That being said, do they notice me sneaking up with that 14?
Give me a quick second. But what is everybody else doing?
I feel like I want.
Just looking like
Why are you
Hail,
sneaking up on them?
spirit.
Thad will take a quiet moment of contemplation just to stare at them from a distance.
The man will like wave and greet them.
Okay. Yeah, so Demovan, you wave and greet them. Crix, one of them looks directly at you.
Shit. Do they seem scared?
No, actually. As you guys make yourselves known coming through the foliage of this thicket, one of them looks at you, waves, and starts moving its hands, mimicking eating, while looking up at the characters and making welcoming gestures to you.
I sit down at their little plate.
They scooch over and make room for you.
Okay, I'm gonna like sit down and like with the lantern, I'm gonna blow out the fire now that I found the source of them. And then I'm gonna grab one and put it in the lantern.
That seems unnecessary.
We're supposed to capture one. We're supposed to capture one. We were given the goal to capture one.
Well, I'm pretty sure we weren't supposed to ignite one.
I was looking at him like they were cute little bunnies, and then when Crix does that, I'm just like,
Boing! It just tries to jump out of your hand.
Oh, okay,
Just
so...
another contested dexterity check.
What? Shit.
Back flips out of your hand, shakes its head at you, and waggles its finger and points downwards towards the snow.
Just got pointed down on.
These nuts.
It points over at Demovan. It like looks at you, shakes its head, points over at Demovan, and then points down at the snow. It sits. Or you sit, nods its head, and it like crosses its arms, kicks a little bit of snow, and then points over at a pine tree where there's some pine cones hanging low. Points at you, points at that.
I pull out my dagger and I start trying to like cut into the pine cone.
You feel a little pushing motion on your leg as you get up, Demovan.
Oh.
There's the little like Chwinga's like trying to push you back. And that little angry Chwinga is pointing at Crix and then pointing at the pine cones and then pointing back at the plate.
Wait, what?
I think we need me to force feed you these.
You should cook it. Cook the pine cone.
I will produce flame and cook the pine cone.
Yeah, just cook the pine cone.
There's a moment of fright from the Chwinga, but then they look and see what you're doing and they clap excitedly and kind of dance around the little flaming pine cone in the center of the plate.
Welcome.
I will note, we were given the job.
While they're distracted, Kolra leans to Valhalla and goes, "This is my chance. I'm gonna go get a snowball. I'll be right back."
Okay.
And starts to head out the house.
Oh no, you guys are no longer in the house. You're like in a clearing behind the house. You got some snow available to you if you want to get it, Laura.
Definitely makes a snowball.
Okay. So the rest of you...
I'm a little concerned, but it's
What's
cool.
Hyrokin, what are you up to? Seeing these little weird creatures acting or playing house and having like a tea party, dinner party here out in the wilderness.
I think Hirokin would find it absolutely adorable and be writing down subject appears to think it's people. Tea choice, mediocre at best, but novel. Interesting. I think we one of those like. I don't think Hiroka would want to actually capture one. He would kind of just scientific curiosity would want to observe it undisturbed.
All right, what's Thad doing?
Well, definitely just standing and just staring at the Chwinga until if they tell him to sit down, in which case he will promptly sit down, cross-legged, and just stare and try to understand what they're trying to teach him.
Yeah, so I can imagine Thad, you're just sitting there. One of them looks at you, points down the ground, and it's just that like thud of just like immediate transition into cross-leg,
Yeah,
just like on your ass.
Like almost like a child, just kind of sitting like watching.
A puff of snow shoots into the air as you dislodge the powder beneath you. One of the Chwingas unburies itself from the snow that you just launched onto it, and brings you over a pine cone.
I am honored for your gift of this pine cone. What do you want me to do with this pine cone?
Points to you, and then it points to its tummy.
You want me to eat the pine cone? Okay.
I'll
take a bite of it.
Give you a wisdom. Just like a wisdom check.
Check or save?
And this is gonna be at disadvantage because you are exhausted still. You're like
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like delirious. In your delirium, you really think that this Chwinga is telling you to eat this pine cone. You are completely oblivious to the fact that they're like playing house and having like a pretend party.
I was like, it's very.
Give me
Sharp.
a Constitution saving throw, please, at disadvantage. Wow. So everybody watches as you all are like pretending to like, it's like tea party, like, oh yes, thank you for the food. Like, Demavan, you're like pretending to like take a bite out of your, pine cone scone, and then you just hear a horrendous crunching sound as you all look over, and Thad is just noshing on this pine cone, just takes the most massive bite out of this pine cone, and you just what sounds like teeth breaking and grinding in his mouth as he just smiles and gives a thumbs up to the Chwinga as he's just chewing and just like.
How's the grub?
It's sharp, crunchy.
It is full of fiber, though.
I don't even know if this qualifies as fiber at this point. But if this is what it means to try to gain the wisdom of these little guys, I will do what they ask.
Halfway through that sentence, Cora throws the snowball.
All right, give me just like a d20 plus your dexterity.
Not proficient with snowballs.
Not proficient with snowball.
Can we gain
dexterity
it,
check? Wait, dexterity check.
Mm.
Nice. All right, yeah, 15's more than enough. Are you aiming at one of the Chwingas?
Just the collective.
Okay, so suddenly, as Thad is forcing down that last bite of pine cone, you hear a
Ate the whole thing.
as a snowball just takes out the Chwinga that was like laughing, like literally like belly laughing silently at Thad.
What have I done?
You just see two little feet sticking out from the snow.
Oh no.
As suddenly a massive snowball fight just erupts as the remaining two Chwingas just do like the cartoon machine gun snowball throw back at Cora.
I just have produce flame in my hand, and I'm just like catching all of the snowballs I can.
Yeah.
With the flame.
So this is a beautiful little
so you're just drenched in water at the
yeah,
end.
there's just water.
Yeah.
So it's
Which
a
immediately
festive little
evaporate with
moment
the
as you guys
fire.
are all having a snowball fight after your hearty meal, and here's a nice little
Val
image.
is jumping up and down, being super, super excited because Cora threw the first one, and I'm jumping up and down, and then I'm like, every now and then getting pelted with snowballs and be like, ow, hey!
Look at that little fucking snowman.
They're absolutely adorable. Oh, they were. Oh shit, what's that Pokemon?
Oh, Snow Runt.
Snow. Yeah, the little triangle snow one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
The onigiri. As a Pokemon?
Yeah, onigiri Pokemon Snowball.
When holding a knife looks more menacing than it should.
he's about to shank a bitch.
Stab the shit out of this pine cone.
Yeah, also the one like hailing Satan is also. Like,
Satan!
Rise, pinecone, rise into a fresh tree.
Yeah,
Satan,
I
because
need to Photoshop some fire on this after what Crix has done to it, and they'll be just like, yeah, hail Satan.
This is definitely like the
We
burning
shall
Elmo
bring
gif.
666
it
years
is.
of darkness.
You're right.
The sacrifice is complete.
There we go. That one.
Yeah.
Might be one of my favorite
as your
pictures of the internet.
shenanigans, as the snowball fight de-escalates, and everybody kind of cools down, the Chwingos are all just kind of like rolling around laughing, and they notice that all their that everything's kind of covered in snow. They look at each other. Those little kind of weird expressionless face masks with the snow coats on, and they give you guys a bow. Two of them suddenly just go turn invisible. The third one looks at the group, scans you all, looks at Thad, whose teeth seem a little bit out of line, and disappears, then reappears on his shoulder.
Oh no. This is not what I thought we were going to do to capture these things, but sure.
As the thing appears on his shoulder, Kohler starts to lean down for another snowball.
It hides in Thad's mane of half-orc hair.
It's cute that it thinks that'll stop things.
Sorry, I was muted. I missed that last little bit. Demon just came back. Was it something about hair?
Oh,
You
the
have
Chwinga-
a
you have a Chwinga
Chwinga
on
on
you.
your shoulder.
Oh, I have been blessed. Teach me your wisdom, O little one.
I'm not going
Yep.
to throw that snowball.
So the one
Alright.
that was, it is specifically, it does say this, it was specifically the one who was Hail Satan, Evil Elmo.
Am I gonna be the carrier of the Antichrist
You're the
Chewinga?
sacrifice.
You're the arbiter of the
Yes.
the Satan Chwinga.
Whisper into my ear and tell me your secrets.
What's that?
What?
What are your friends?
So you, as
Sure.
you guys, as you looking, you see just like the little masked face of the Chwinga pop up from Thad's fucking bushy mane of hair behind his head, and then pop back in there. Or if you want to do another same roll as before with the snowball.
I'm not going to throw another snowball.
Okay. So
She just has it ready in case things go down.
Defensive maneuvers.
It's like I'm only packing because I know they're packing.
Yeah, I'm readying my action. Throw snowball.
all right. So
Oh,
what are you guys gonna do now? You have a Chwinga with you. It seems to have latched onto Thad, who valiantly played along to the most extreme of actions.
Thad's still convinced this was not even a play. This was just an act of deference required to earn their wisdom.
You must name this creature.
Oh.
You discovered it. You must name it.
What is your name, little one?
Pops out of your hair, sits on your shoulder, scratches its non-existent head. Its mask spins in a circle.
I am going to name you Masco. Because you have a mask.
clever.
It looks at Thad, looks back at the party, and does the shrug emoji from Discord.
Well, I don't know what it exactly wants of me, but I will gladly carry it until we determine what needs to be done next.
It looks at
Yeah?
you. It looks at you, Thad.
Yeah.
It gives you the shrugging one. It looks at you, Thad. You can feel it like analyzing you. And then you see it. You feel it scamper down your back, and dives into your your backpack or like your traveling pouch.
Careful, if you're going for your nature's pocket.
Oh, wait. Yeah, maybe it knows what those metal bits are. Maybe it's going to try to piece them together.
And then you see it crawl out, and it has that cold shard in its hand, and it fucking tries to throw it as far as it can.
Wait, I'll try to stop it from throwing it because I don't want to lose it. So I don't know if that's trying to catch it or like stop its throw, or if it's too late for that. Go pick it up. Either way.
It was like 3.5 inches.
Also, how strong is this thing? Yeah. Like, I have a
It
feeling
goes. It
like,
does this. It goes.
And then it
He tries to
throws like 2 inches.
He tries to throw it. It goes, or it tries to throw it, and it goes like 2 inches and just into the snow at your feet.
I like you, little one, but that's my cold, sharp thingy. I'm gonna hold on to that, okay?
I'll pick it back up.
As you try to pick it up, he like jumps to your hand and tries to like you feel his little tiny hands like.
Well, I don't understand, but this was the gift that was granted to me. All right. Oh, okay. Maybe one of you over there should carry this as long as the angry Masco is in my care.
Will he keep me warm?
He does not seem to have body heat.
Oh.
But that shard will keep you warm.
Cold.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, Kalis, you walk over. If you walk over to the shard, you immediately can like your sensitivity to things that are cold and things that are colder. Immediately, your alarms go off, and you're like, nope, that thing is cold. Thing's just like.
Yeah, you got me. It's cold.
Oh, screw me, I guess.
I mean, you all stare at this shard, and immediately, like, it unnerves everybody who looks at it. Like, Bad looked at it, and I think basically that I feel like your encounter with it was just like a dumb curiosity. In all honesty, you're just like, oh, yep, shard.
It was a neat shiny bit that I wanted to hold on to.
But everybody else who looks at this, it's like it immediately emits this strange, unnatural, almost unnerving or uneasy aura about it. The shard, and you all, just to describe it again, it's a shard of what looks to be like black purple glass, almost. And you can almost see that it's like sitting there in the snow. Start to see like crystals.
Would we have seen Valhana's like intense reactions to this?
She doesn't react to this at all.
Oh.
Anything she reacts, her reaction is less severe than when she saw the metal shard. This is something different.
Oh, okay.
Because there were like 2 different things in the basket, right?
Yeah,
like one of them was the majority of the metal shards, and then one of them was like this jaggedy thing.
I do remember when I did take the time to try to piece them together, that it was clear this cold shard was not part of the other thing, and that's why it became a lower. Yeah, it became a lower priority because it's just a weird cold piece of glass. It made no sense to me.
But it
if
did
no one's
make
gonna pick
me
up,
have a reaction in the bar.
if no one picks up, Cora does.
Okay, Cora, you reach for it. It's icy cold, but not like, as I said, not like dry ice cold where it burns for you to touch it, but it's strangely cold, and the longer you hold it in your hands, the more you realize that this thing is not getting any warmer as something like this would if you. Yeah, you immediately get this kind of it's like nasty feeling in your gut about it.
I'll hold it for a minute and just kind of wait to see if I hear any input about it.
Okay, yeah. You hold on to it, and I think for this, let's do like a charisma check. Cool. So the voice in your head echoes, but my voice mod thing, you don't get the actual echo.
Oh.
Yeah. It says
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Bad DM. Oh. That's quite interesting.
Oh my.
Have not something this strange in quite some time.
I'm saying something.
can feel the presence thinking in your head. This is quite old. Oh, I can feel old magic in this, something residual from a time far in the past. Oh. Oh my. This is from a cataclysm. This is from something
Cora, like,
terrible that happened here in Icewind.
hearing this, since it's in her head, her eyes just kind of suddenly go wide, like out of for seemingly no reason.
You all right?
In her head, you want to impart information on that one, or is this another thing I'm alone on?
Val is just staring at Cora because her reaction worries me. Just knowing Cora, it's like, oh my gosh, emotion? What is this?
Yeah, this seems
Alex,
untoward
kinda
to
like-
you.
That's a warning sign.
Cora!
Hearing her name get called, she just kind of puts up a finger, like a 1 second kind of thing.
Yeah, the last thing that the voice in your head mentioned, they just say, whatever this thing is, has residual magic that you keep this on you long enough, it'll warp your mind. It'll drive you mad.
Immediately drops it.
Do not let Thad have that.
Cora, what happened?
Yes. So Cora immediately drops it and goes, we might just want to not have this.
Go on.
It's nice and
Strange
shiny,
to
though.
see you unnerved so much.
Let's say I got some... From what I know, this thing is, well, it might turn you into a Thad.
Wait, I don't understand.
Shh, it's okay, buddy.
I just give Thad like a pat on the shoulder.
I
Why
give
is
her a
everyone-
knowing nod.
Why is everyone? My top score is a 9.
The Twinga on Thad's shoulder also pats his shoulder.
Well, I trust this little one. He doesn't want us to have it, but probably shouldn't have it.
Uh,
The voice in your
Cora will
head,
ask in her head,
yeah, the voice in your head says, your companion has that strange bag that she keeps stuffing things. I feel like it would be safe in technically another plane, isn't it?
we could argue about the semantics on that one, but does it have to be touching you directly, or?
As far as I remember, yes. On your person.
Just kind of with some thought, she's like, all right, we don't need another Dugan's hole. And then looks at Valhalla, so can we put this in the bag? Knowing her reaction from earlier.
Val's staring at Cora like, I feel like this is probably the first moment of not quite defiance, but like
Well,
reactivity.
just as a point of clarification, once again, this you've never seen like this.
No, but I just saw Cora's reaction to it.
Got it.
So it's about that. It's not about like my aversion to it. It's not like no, I don't want to touch it. It's more like, bitch, please. What are you suggesting? Like, you just dropped that shit like it was on fire. So that's more where my reaction's coming from. I'm looking at Cora like eyebrow raised, like kind of move back a little and like, what? In a very non-Val fashion.
With a sigh, Cora hold out a hand and goes, I'll carry it. after we put it in there. If that'll make you feel better.
Judging
Is
from the
it-
reactions here, we can't leave this here.
Mm-hmm.
Is
I
it
think
It's probably.
is it safe in there?
I
Can't
don't
get out.
think it's safe anywhere.
I think it's safer in there than anywhere else, though. Yes?
My understanding, yeah.
Does anyone have something to like wrap? I tear off a piece of my cloak, like at the
But-
very bottom. Like I'm just tearing off. Like
Cora would try to stop her before tearing at her clothes.
Perhaps one of you could explain to me why we wish to carry and continue to take this weird cold shard with us after the little one is said.
It seems to have mind-altering effects, from my understanding.
So this is icy meth.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is meth that is not consumed. It can infect the whole town before it is...
Is methamphetamine that smokes you.
I'm gonna say that still sounds like meth to me.
It's crystal meth.
Crystallized. Well, I mean, if there's something to be learned, I suppose there's no problem if we have a way to safely carry it, but I defer to the little one.
We'll
I'm gonna turn
We
to
agree
the
that
little
we'll find
Kodama.
find a better way to get rid of it, at least.
Perhaps
I'm gonna-
in the lake.
Yeah, we are
I
going
don't-
to the middle of the lake.
I have no clue if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna like hold my hands out to the little Kodama. And I'm just gonna look at it pleadingly and be like, "Is this gonna work?"
It looks to you, look like to the bag that you're, and gives you a shrug emoji and then nod.
It's better than nothing. Okay, but put it in something first. I don't want it touching my rope.
Cora reaches in, grabs her backpack out of the bag. Picks up the shard, puts it in her backpack, and then puts the backpack back in the.
Sick, double bagging it.
Wait. What if we put it in a portable hole, guys, and then put that in the bag of holding?
Pretty sure it opens a rift.
That's
and
That'll
Let-
that's
let's-
bad. That's
how you
bad.
That's how you
That's
end
all
the
gather
joke.
around when we do this too.
That's the joke.
I think I made this bag of holding with like, I'm developing my alchemist shit, and I like made this bag into a bag of holding, and I'm just like, I may not know a whole lot about all this magic stuff, but I know that at the very least you can't do that.
After putting it in there, Cora gives Valhalla a hug and says, "We'll get rid of it."
Okay.
Right. So the group of you guys, guys and gals, leave the clearing behind you. The two other Chewingas disappeared. The third one riding on Thad's shoulder, happily there. Make your way back to the central area of the town, and as you do, you see you head towards the docks, picking up your cart on the way there, the goat cart, and you actually follow the signs to where the inn is, which is actually right on the shores. And as you guys get to the inn, you see a familiar face sitting on the porch, bundled up, looking out over the lake. You see the researcher, Danica, there. Happens to be at this inn.
It's the one who talked to us about, gave us a lantern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Danica Patrick. Yeah, that's right.
As you approach, looks to you and she says, "Oh, hi. Happened to be in town and you see that grisly execution that they performed in the town square? Pretty frightful. Don't want to be on the bad side of the East Haven folk, don't you? I've got a room here for the night and been continuing my questioning of folks around here about those spirits. You've had any luck?
I look over to Thad.
No, this is absolutely like that's the meme of the guy with the ostrich, and he's like, "What's that you got there? A milkshake."
See, you're too old, but that's from iCarly.
What?
God.
Oh, I thought it was like that '70s show or something.
Wow!
Damn.
Shut up,
The
Laura, I
fucking
get it.
references.
I was just
Couple
some old
years.
sitcom I'd never seen, so I assumed it was something like that, which just happens to
Is
probably be a generation difference,
I
apparently.
think a sequel
That's
to
that's
Smoke Warrior.
that's literally what it is.
All right.
Damn it.
Well, as she looks to the party, you feel some movement on your shoulder, and the Chewinga pokes his head out from your mane of bushy hair, and she audibly gasps.
This one's Masco.
You've returned with... It's live. I'm sorry, not to doubt you, but I had no idea that you would be able to bring one back alive. Do you mind?
Bad attempt.
I will not take it from you. I promise. I just need to do some quick sketches and some measurements. Is that okay? My half-orc friend. Thad,
yeah.
right? Thad.
It is Thad. You have a good memory.
I think you should be asking its permission.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm sorry. Sir Masco, would you mind if I did a quick character study of you? It's for research. It's quite important. Masco looks to you, Thad.
I nod, kind of shrug back, give it the shrug emoji back to him.
Shrug emoji back at you. Nod back to the researcher. And it just
All right.
sits on your muscular shoulder. And the little gnome acolyte researcher bounds around you, kind of taking quick measurements with a small little measuring tape, doing some quick sketches here and there. Hirokin, you're like, this is another ample opportunity to follow along with her and like continue to do sketches.
Yeah, I would also get on that. I don't know. You see, you gotta really get the angles more of this sort of thing, and also make sure you draw him holding a fork or a knife.
What?
That's an actual behavior that's demonstrated.
What?
Also, he seems to like pine cones. I would not recommend to eat them, however.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of blood trickling from your mouth, Thad.
I can imagine like getting stuck between your teeth, like a nasty, like pop burn.
Worth noting, you can chew on a pine cone in combat to keep rage going for the future if you were a barbarian, just for future reference.
Absolutely.
Rage
I would allow
cones.
that.
Nom nom nom.
Noted.
Duly noted. Pinecone chewing
It's
works.
bag of rats all over again.
All right.
Well, being so close to the docks, Cora starts to get antsy, and then with a little quick, "I'll be right back," takes off to go secure them a boat.
Okay. Cora,
I thought I was going a different direction.
as you head towards the shore of the lake, you can see there are multiple different docks and little boats here. Give me a quick perception check. Okay. As you walk along the shore, looking at the different docks, most of them have like larger boats that seem not to be what you need. But you do notice that one of the larger docks here has a bunch of boats that are all like frozen at their moorings, not even moving. And then out of the corner of your eye, you look down and you notice strange footprints in the snow heading off in that direction. Give me a survival check. As you look down, you notice that these boot prints, you can actually discern from that roll, they're like dwarf-sized boot prints.
Butt prints.
They are hopping along on their asses.
But is this on the lake or is it on the docks?
On the docks, on like the snow-covered docks, walking along this dock.
Okay.
And something very unusual catches your eye. As you see that these dwarf-sized boot prints go from being normal dwarf size to being about the size of like a gnome's foot. As they
Is it bigger or smaller?
smaller. They get smaller, suddenly smaller, as they make their way off the dock and into the town.
Oh, it's going that way. Okay.
There's 4 distinct. There are. You notice 4 distinct boot prints that all split up. They like all come off the dock, and then they all split up and go off into the town.
Oh my god,
So,
it's 4 gnomes and a
four-
dwarf goat.
I just gonna ask: is it 4 dwarf that changes size, or the dwarf changes into 4
No,
smaller?
so it's four dwarven footprints
Okay.
that come off of the ferry or come off of this. Sorry, the dock, the snow-covered dock, and then as soon as they kind of like hit the main street, you notice that the footprints split up, and then all 4 of the footprints become small sized.
She'll keep it at the back of her head, but she's already kind of tired dealing with issues in every town that they visit, so she continues going to search for a boat.
All right, and you will find the boat as we end the session here tonight. You guys all level up to level 3.
Hell yeah.
Nice. This is where the
Guys,
fun begins.
We leveled up with the
This is
snowball
where the
fight.
You
fun-
did.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we did.
Leveled up
Yeah.
by playing along with your Chewinga friends.
Yo.
I survived the pinecone encounter, and
Dude,
therefore
I'm
have
pretty-
become stronger.
I get 1 extra experience point.
You choke on the pine cone. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
This is also, I mean, this is also from my perspective. It's a combination of like there's milestone leveling in this chapter, but I actually wanted to. I like getting you guys to level 3 rather than later, as that's where everybody's kind of specialties pop in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also
definitely.
this was the handling of the
No.
oh, poor Valhana. It unfortunately is not going to be rerolled because it's
Nope.
It's not a 1.
That's the worst.
It is what it is. But no, you guys, this is for completing the Chewinga quest, which I'll just say the kind of quick little epilogue here as Kolra is looking for the boat. The Danica, the researcher, lets you keep the Lantern of Elemental Finding, and because you guys found the because you guys actually brought her a live specimen for her to do a quick study on, she awards you each with an additional 5 gold. So you each get 15 gold.
Oh, sick. 50% bonus
Yeah.
on that.
So you completed the Chewinga quest. You've done that, but also this was kind of the conclusion of leading and handling the Good Mead election quest, as I would.
We're starting to make a little bit of a name for ourselves,
Yes,
I
you
guess,
are.
as we're,
Exactly.
as we're starting to, yeah.
Starting
I still
to
got
make your
so many mysteries.
Stake your claim in the frigid north as the next big adventuring party to make your way around Tent. So yeah, have fun, level up, get that level 3, get those.
Making my way from Town.
Get to,
I'm excited for
Walking
East Haven too.
slowly
This
through
is
the
a cool
snow.
town.
Yeah, it's a big town. There's a lot of stuff to do here. Ooh, the last thing, Kolra, that'll have you do, just so you can have this in your brain, is to roll a. What would it be? History or history check, or another survival or history.
Survival, please.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Not Hirogen.
Oh.
Wait, I was like, why?
Actually, no. Okay, I'll let. Oh wow, that boat.
Oh!
I would let that boat stand because so Hiroken. This is just like some little epilogue. This is the end of the fucking Marvel movie as you as after you do all the the study of the Chewingas. The last thing that kind of happens after the quick credits of this episode, like Kolra comes back with a rowboat that she has rented and kind of casually points out that she saw some weird footprints on this pier dock. And Hiroken, you look at them and you immediately recognize Urgar.
Oh, and that's
Yeah,
oh,
that makes
okay.
sense.
And the Durgar, it's just, I mean, this is meta, and Pat has no idea, but they're related to the Zentarim, correct?
No, Duergar is
They're not?
Well, they are in the sense of this group
Preconceived,
this table's previous encounters with
Yeah,
Duergar
as-
have been there as interim agents. However, this is more so that Hirokin immediately recognizes the like going from like normal size to small size. If you guys do remember, Duergar have the
They can
ability
change,
to change
yeah.
size to like from like normal to gigantic.
Oh,
And
I actually didn't know that.
yeah, normal to large, and then large to small, or medium to small at will.
Neat.
And Hirokin also knows they have the ability.
Oh, fun. Good thing there's snow on the ground.
Right? I know, it's kind of the worst place for some invisible folks to be fucking sneaking around town, huh?
You just hear this like crunch, 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 and see footprints all around you.
There's no good way
where
to
could
cover
they
them
be?
either. You're just like,
No.
You just have to hope that people don't notice as it happens. Okay, now the fun part of dumping every second level spell that druids have into my character.
yeah, I know. Start populating your character sheets. Good stuff tonight.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
again, another session
Yeah.
of roleplay. There'll be more dungeony stuff coming up as for a
Oh, I
few
love
things,
this.
but-
I absolutely love this party.
You guys are
dynamic.
you
It's
guys
so
are
fun.
doing a great job of kind of now really leaning into your characters and what they are. So I appreciate. All right, we'll be back next Tuesday with more Rime on the 5th episode. Guys, look for those lost fishermen out in Loch Denishire.
Oh, we're gonna find some angry
Cora gets
Scotsmen
to
out there.
show her sailing skills.
Mm-hmm.
Her scaly skills.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
no.
true. No,
Oh, no.
you do have the ability. You're going to be the one who has the like proficiency in water vehicle.
Anaman can drive a.
Yeah,
Ben drives the goat mobile.
We'll just
and
get like a
Cora drives the
hovercraft and we'll
boats.
just like switch seats.
Question: Can we jury rig this so that it can be a goat-drawn boat?
If you're willing to have a bunch of
But you
goat
want to
popsicles,
Oh no, aqua goats are gonna throw in
some
the
nice
What would
goat
you think
ice
the
cubes,
equivalent
then
of, like,
that'll be what you get.
the
Oh my
gum-
god, can we attach wheels to it so it can go from land to sea?
It's an aquatic
Oh,
goat boat. Or a amphibious goat boat. There we go.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I
It's
just
like
found the
the
worst
duck
fucking
boats
pun
in
on the
Seattle.
planet. No, you guys need to
Oh,
everybody
no.
shut up! A U-boat.
Ah, that hurt. Fishing rod me down the DM.
Okay, stream's over. Pack it up. Go
Yep,
home.
that's it. I'm
Rocks
ending on
fall,
that.
damn guys.
All right, good night, guys. Guys and gals, take it easy.
On that one.
Good night, everybody. Take psychic damage.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. Good night. All right. Well, with that terrible pun of the U-boat, this is what we're gonna end on. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I am Scuznugget, the DM for this campaign of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Thank you for catching our episode 4. It'll go up in all entirety on our YouTube channel. Just search YouTube for Scuznugget. There will be a playlist of all of our Rime of the Frostmaiden episodes so far, if you are inclined to look at some of them or listen to some of them in the background whenever you're doing shit. Tonight, we had Thad, played by Chuckle Smash, who had some terrible nightmares and then made a Chewinga friend. We had Fletcher Cricks, played by Gastroy, who wanted to melt some Chewingas, but then ended up playing well with them as well. Hirokin now gets his wild magic stuff. Hirokin, played by Porkins, who studied Chewingas and was a furry head blanket for Valhana, who was played by my wife, Derpy Gecko, who didn't like seeing wizards burned at the stake and seems to not enjoy that type of stuff. Yes, Gastroy, you did not want to melt them. You wanted to melt the snowballs. I am sorry. We had Demovan, played by Boogie, our spear boy, and we had Kolra, played by Neon Pulse, who is the anti-bee bird girl. Also, we had Kailis, played by CW3, our resident cold boy who always just wants to get warm. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll be back with this campaign on Tuesday, but do tune in to twitch.tv/Gastroy, who is now in chat, on Thursday as we jump into our fungal panic campaign. What is it called? Stinky Boys Go to Fungal Town. I forget what it is. Something of abyssal mushrooms. we're creeping from the abyss. There you go. Nice. Yeah, where we are converting a Tyranny of Dragons campaign now into a fun Zukotmoy based fungal demonic incursion campaign. We'll be there on Thursday. But until then, thank you guys so much, gals, for tuning in. I will need to update these guys' player cards next time. Great evening.